Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has come down to this, the final day of the Esports Arena Showdown series, the Showdown Championship it has now become, as we are in Championship Sunday, and it is time to crown a winner. Yesterday, we had all of our local teams, which unfortunately got pushed into the lower bracket of their respective groups, had to battle it out for survival. Only 2 spots were available. Both of our invited Brazilian teams were able to claim those spots on the first day, and now they're back today to face off against the 2 teams that ended up making it out of the groups from yesterday, and now are ready to face them. Gentlemen, welcome back to the couch. How are we feeling today?
Feeling pretty good.
Refreshed.
Yeah,
Fresh,
nice night of sleep.
Nice good night. Some wings last night as well.
I showered and I just feel just good.
New person.
Yeah, you know, a new man.
Yeah.
Or woman, I'm not assuming anything.
Of course not.
I don't know.
Jeez.
Anyways, yeah, let's talk about Little Top Gun. I'm pretty surprised.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit.
I'm so excited.
First, we're going to talk a little bit more about how this tournament went and how the festivities. Mainly yesterday, when I think, like we said before, and like we said yesterday, the first day went pretty much as planned, right? But yesterday we saw actually quite a few close matches and quite a few upsets in that respect as well.
Yeah, well, I guess it kind of leads into where we find ourselves right now is the fact that I did not expect Top Gun to be where they are. Yeah. I expected either Swole Patrol, SoCal Stars,
Monster,
more Monstars. Yeah, well, yeah, like those 3 teams to be the ones we were talking about at this point. And obviously Immortals and Luminosity. But Top Gun has just gotten gradually better and better as the tournament has progressed. And they provided some really, really intense games yesterday. Obviously, like the last best of 3 we had went the entire distance, closed out on Overpass with a really close map versus Swole Patrol.
Triple overtime in the first map.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, the map that never ended pretty much. I think it was like 25 to 22 or something on Inferno. But yeah, it's just been a barrage of really tense games.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we did see Top Gun and Monstars making it out from their respective groups there. The other team that kind of maybe disappointed in a certain respect based on their performance, just coming into this event, was Denial, who showed up, and we think that okay, maybe they're going to do well here, but as it turned out yesterday, like they may have had Fetch playing in the tournament, but it turned out that Fetch actually had left the roster as of yesterday, so they had to get fill-ins. Even had Emily playing for them, who actually did respectively well yesterday.
She was
probably
one of the best players on the team.
I think the one best of 3 they did win. If I recall correctly, she was like the top fragger, just the top performer in that set. So she did really well. And we thought that with Cobblestone, how well they were able to crush that first time they played it, going into the second time that they would be able to take down the Monstars and actually push out of the group. But a little bit of disappointment there is inconsistency just reigned across the board for the entire team as they lost pretty heavily on that map and ended up getting knocked out because of it. Yeah,
and especially because they kind of fell down on both the maps they lost. They fell down to the same thing. It started off losing versus an eco round from the opposing team. So it's a round they shouldn't lose. They should be building their economy. Instead, they stumble, allow the other team to get pretty much a free buy in that sense. And from that point on, they were never able to really dent the economy of Monstars, and that really came back to haunt them.
Well, let's move on now to talk about our first game here today. It is going to be Top Gun taking on the Immortals. Top Gun overcoming the odds yesterday to take down Swole Patrol in our very last match. But now the issue is, they're going up against a whole new class of Titans here. It's going to be the Immortals.
Yeah, Immortals, that's definitely going to be a tough thing, even though Jamin and James were just performing like monsters yesterday. I mean, the whole team was playing well, but those 2 were just really taken to a whole nother level. But against Immortals, it's Immortals. I mean, you're going to have to isolate hand 1. Isolate this guy. Smoke him out. Throw like 4 smokes in his area. Just make sure that he can, get up in his face. A lot better than trying to out-rifle him or whatever when he's up. Because when he's on fire, he's too hard to stop.
Yeah, and I mean, so far we haven't really seen, we've seen Immortals play, 34 rounds so far?
Yeah.
Because they've had 61s all day. I'm assuming Top Gun is going to get, do a bit more battle than that, but so far nobody in this tournament has really managed to make Immortals respect them. I think that's going to be a big talking point, and that's going to be one of the most important things for Top Gun to really set the pace of the game immediately.
Yeah, we would hope that coming right off the start here, Top Gun's able to claim the pistol round, get themselves running, and at least get a few rounds up onto the board here. At least make Immortals kind of slow down a little bit, and like I think you just said, give them a little bit more respect is what we're going to be looking for in this matchup here. Hopefully not just 2 crushing 16-1s and then they push on to the finals. That would be rather unfortunate, a bit of an anticlimactic end to Top Gun's run. But we do know the maps as well. It's going to be starting off on Inferno once again.
It's pretty much becoming home soil. Okay, so we don't know for sure, but I'm assuming this is Immortals' pick. I think that's pretty safe. And it's kind of become home soil for the Brazilians. They've been exceptionally good at it. They haven't really dropped any games on that map except for versus Gambit, and we know that Gambit are a remarkable Inferno team. So, you know, for them to pick it just kind of makes sense from every aspect of it. It's still a new map, they're still learning things, they're still getting better at it, but they're already at a much higher level than, you know, most other teams in the entire world.
Absolutely, and then moving on to our second map after that, we'll be going over to Mirage, which I think would be the second pick. Still though a map which, despite Immortals not being, you know, the best at it among the global stage, I think in this respect they're probably still going to fare pretty well here.
I mean, we saw them play against the Banishers on day one, and the one thing that these teams have to do against Immortals is to not die within the first 10 seconds. I think that's like the first start of
sounds
the
like
whole...
a pretty easy gig,
You
right?
know, it sounds good. Just gotta stay back a little bit. Maybe not necessarily going to slow default or anything, but just when we do something, make sure you have 5 people alive. It makes your whole team mentality and everything work just a little better when Hen1's not jumping around headshotting everybody.
Yeah, and I think, you know, from the side of Top Gun, it's probably the best case scenario for them to get into Mirage, even though we did see Immortals kind of just lay down the law on Banishers on the first day. But it's, you know, it's not a map that they play a whole lot. It's the one Brazilian team that kind of shies away from Mirage, that don't necessarily like to play it all that much, or, you know, at least not as of late. So, you know, that is a chance that Top Gun has to at least, you know, get a bit of a better start in on it. But yeah, to me, it's going to have to, you know, being able to contain Henny in mid, and while doing so, obviously, like, not that in the first 10 seconds, but still maintain map control so you don't allow for Lucas to just push up mid, do whatever the hell he wants, and all of a sudden you're playing with, you know, like 3/4 of the map instead of, you know, the entire thing. Yeah.
Well, our third and final map, if I recall correctly, is going to end up being Overpass. So once again, another
strong map for Immortals.
The veto just seemed to work out great for them in all respects. Like I said, I think Mirage is like the one smidge in there, but against Top Gun, it's not like a huge deal. Yeah. Like the biggest loss of the team that Immortals suffered recently on Mirage, you know, was Phelps being taken off the roster, because Phelps is just, specifically in mid, he's like crazy with the ability. He has to move around there and just get
stuff done. That's the same route he takes every single time. Yeah. It's like, first it was a midway to Catwalk, and then, you know, obviously smokes go down, gets flashed around to the point where he can get on top of the, I guess, what would you call it, like the fence on Catwalk?
Yeah,
then
the
does like
the little pole you can jump off.
Yeah, exactly. Does that, gets the peek towards Murder Hole, and then jumps over to the left side where he spots in towards ladder room, and like just has this like set route that he always goes in, and he seemingly always finds like 2 to 3 people on that route.
Yeah, and he's been pretty insane at that. But like I said before, he's off the roster now, so they're not going to have that. That's the thing that makes them a little bit weaker on the map, but overall I still think pretty strong here. So basically, the odds stacked up against Top Gun. Yeah. What do we need to see them do here to be able to try and come out victorious?
Well, I think it comes down to FNX, if he's wearing a shirt or not as he plays. I think
Wait, what?
Because you see, he's always has his shirt off, and I mean, I think that determines if he's going to play well or not. So we really got to.
Wait, he always has his shirt off?
Yeah.
Do you not know this?
FNX, hello.
Wait, what is this? I've never.
Go look on an Instagram.
Yeah.
Go look on his tweets. You'll know what I mean.
Oh, okay. He's doing. I was confused.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, it's still early in the day here for Blue.
But
it's like solid noon right now. It's a little bit early for me. So
it's pretty early for both of us.
No,
it's okay.
No, I think you know, for Top Gun they kind of have to. I guess Inferno. We know that when we've seen Immortals play previously, we know that the twin connection in Banana, Henny, and Lucas. Yeah, they're very aggressive, and they can be, you know, they can shut that area down entirely, but they can also overextend the, you know, their welcome a lot of the times where they don't necessarily have the best kind of trades. You end up in a, you know, favorable 2v1 for the T's. That's obviously like easy B control and that kind of stuff. And that's something that they can take advantage of. Obviously, the initial hurdle is to actually be able to kill Henny and Lucas. But, you know, I think that's kind of their best way of going about it, because from what we've seen from the rest of them, their A side is pretty decent.
So the wheel is back.
Oh my
We need some really quick predictions, gentlemen.
Immortals, 16-4.
I'm going to do Immortals. Gosh, I want to say 16-5. I'll do 16-5.
16-5. All right, well, we're right back at it. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen.
I always lose, so what do you want?
Well, maybe you get lucky one time here. Let's send it over to your casters as the match is getting started.
All right, thank you very much, Blue, and the rest of the Analyst Desk. Once again, I'm Jamerson, joined by Insomnia. Championship Sunday. It's going to be Immortals facing off against Top Gun, and Top Gun are going to be having to play at the best of their abilities at this point, Insomnia.
That's true, and we've seen what that can be like, what that can look like as of yesterday, last night, going completely off the rails, as the analysts have said. but going up against like Immortals, it's going to be tough contention to say the least. But I think they'll make a good showing of it, give us 100% of their effort.
Oh, most definitely. At this point, you know, there is a lot on the line. Total prize pool of $20,000. First place walking away with $10K. But, you know, some of that pressure is alleviated at this point. You've already played for 2 days in a row now. You've placed in the money, and you've placed in the higher end of the money so far. And so now it's just all about showcasing your skill. You know, a lot of these players, they've been playing in main, premier, climbed the ladder for a really long time, and they're just trying to find their spot and trying to get, you know, the eyes on them to pick up a possible like sponsorship or anything like that.
That's right. Our eyes were on them yesterday, and we could see what they could do. And one thing that Top Gun has against Immortals, they get to see the play style, can maybe see how they're going to play these things out, maybe have a little bit of some of their mindsets in their own. And,
I mean, there's definitely, you know, plenty of source material there for Top Gun to try and go back and research, but at this point, Immortals are playing completely different, right?
True.
They're feeling a lot more confident, a lot more loose. We saw
a lot more aggressive play style than their usual, kind of holding back a little bit.
I mean, consistently on Mirage, as the analyst desk was talking about, Lucas and Henny, that twin bond going on. They just had that synergy and were just holding it down. Lucas continually at the top of mid there, just gaining full-on control. And so, Inferno, we saw James on it yesterday. He was going pretty nuts over on Apartment side. Is he going to be able to pull out the same stuff that he did yesterday?
I don't know. He kind of got shut down later on the second time they played that map. And with the kind of aggressive play style that the Immortals are probably going to bring to this, it's going to be much more difficult to say the least. But I'd like to see him try, because when he gets in that zone, he goes absolutely crazy. Just like Mac 10 busts out, jumping around corners, getting double headshots as he comes out balcony. And I just don't want him to show any restraint. Like, if he's going to do anything amazing, just throw everything out against even the toughest of opponents. Yeah,
and we're getting into game. It's going to be Top Gun starting off on the CT side here, though. Immortals, of course, on the T side then. We do have a stack over here by Banana. It's a 4-man running into the entirety of the Immortal squad. Frosty's going to go ahead and cover the retreat out, tagging down Lucas. He's going to go down. That's the bomb carrier, and they're still battling it out here. Banana, Frosty just finding all the headshots. That's Frosty! A 4K, shutting down Immortals by himself. It's all down to FNX, but there's someone on the flank. He's only got a Glock in hand. Frosty pushes forward, but Jammin will be there to get the trade. That's going to be that 4K for Frosty.
Frosty, who was kind of one of the quieter guys yesterday, doing some amazing stuff to start things off, and that is the kind of momentum that they're going to need. They can keep up that kind of play style, and just having Frosty right there, having a little bit of support, Jiggle peeking over, just lining them up, pulling shot after shot for himself. I don't know if they could have expected to play that fast down middle to start things off. Maybe Immortals thought that they'd actually kind of fear them going into this, but clearly not. Top Gun starting off with everything.
There's a certain amount of respect that you do have to give them, but at another point, pride becomes an issue, and you want to be able to prove yourself, you know, and so you're going to try and take these battles, and I am not against that at all. We do have a technical pause coming out, at least it's earlier on in the day, but Henny is getting back into the game, and as soon as he is in, we will get this match going once again. And so already Immortals forcing up. We've got the Tech 9 armor buy coming out through the entirety of that squad. Mag 7 in the hands of James. And we've seen this before, not this weekend, but, you know, people playing by, like, Arch side with that swag. But it's going to be over by the Halls. Steel is there to get that trade. He's going to be able to recover that swag. Now he's got boiler control.
That's the kind of aggressive play we usually saw from James over on the T side. To see him immediately opening up with that sort of aggression on CT side is even more interesting. But now Steel has that in hand, as you said. Immortals did switch things up in the previous round, immediately going for that alt mid split. But now they know James is elsewhere. I can only imagine it's going to be a 2-2 split. So now they're going to be creeping up towards top of Banana. Bolts leading the way, checking that angle that was held previously as he's smoked off to get into B. There is a gap in the smoke to work off of, though.
They're just going to go ahead and smoke it off one more time. All 4 members of Immortals just hovering over here at the top of Banana. It's going to be down to Huckleberry along with Frosty to hold him down. Frosty's got to already feel pretty loose, pretty good so far. Starting off the day with a 4K pistol round against Immortals, not bad at all. Right now, Immortals are lining up those smokes. for that execute onto the B site here. Molotov coming out a little bit late. 2 members have gone in, so that might have just cut them off, buy them this valuable time to get this 2v2. Frosty already gained that first kill onto Bolts, tries to get a second onto Henny as he is able to make his way back onto the grill there, but now over by Nubox, he will finally fall. Rotations have come out from Top Gun. Still, smoke is there, just cutting them off a little bit. FNX dropped down to 13 HP. They haven't gotten the bomb down, and it's in the hands of FNX right now.
FNX, do you realize you have the bomb? It doesn't matter, though. Huckleberry comes up. Maverick from Banana, they're actually going to get that. Only lose 2 players in the process, so ever so slight economic damage done, but more it's kind of just a moral battle for Top Gun to keep as many players alive and keep their hopes alive if they can keep getting shots like that. Great job from Frosty holding behind Nubox, not being too aggressive, but still having the confidence to re-peek after a couple of seconds to take those fights. Steel did win in that one, but now we've got James right up middle, just narrowly misses that. Does a little bit of damage over to Bolt, taking him down to 44 HP. Jammin, though, he's there. Double kill with the UMP. Huckleberry's a top Banana. He's going to get that, and James follows it up. Jammin pulls himself. It's a third that round, and immediately the BM comes out. A little bit of body tagging.
Now this is where it's going to be difficult, though. This is the rifle round coming out. We have the AWP. It's going to be in the hands of Henny, along with the AKs for the rest of the squad. They're a little bit light on utility, but I think that's okay. They're just really going to be banking on their dual ability here. And no upgrades coming out from Top Gun.
Interesting. He just wanted to see what they can do. But, oh, Henny's going to open it up. Get that frag onto James. Lucas puts that AK to good use, but there is 1 player down, but Lucas spots him out. Henny shoots Bolts in the head. That's going to be slightly problematic as health is relatively low on the rest of the players, but Maverick and Frosty coming in, pushing through that smoke. Henny doesn't care. Puts Frosty down, and Maverick's footsteps had been heard out. He tries to smoke him off from that top mid angle, and immediately Immortals only losing 1 player to their own hand.
Yeah. Ultimately ending up getting 6 frags there. But that was the issue, right? That's what we were looking for once we get into those rifle rounds.
Right. But
Whether or not Top Gun could contest. But I actually like that they didn't upgrade any of their guns.
Yeah.
They take the battle, come what may. Either you win that round or you lose it. If you lose it, then, hey, you're able to buy back in with more rifles here for a secondary chance to really try and take them on. And then they played it a lot more differently. They pushed up mid there, got really aggressive. There we go. Jammin gets the first flick onto FNX. He wasn't expecting the man to be playing with the op there. Lucas, though, making his way out towards Boiler. There hasn't been that much contestation coming out from Top Gun at the Boiler Room. It was just Jammin there playing earlier, but Bolts trades on back. Huckleberry down. Now it's back down to a 4v4. We do have Frosty getting a little bit antsy over there by B. He's the lone man playing at the top of Banana. Flashes in for Maverick, but Lucas is there. Take him out by Boiler. Now Immortals with the man advantage.
James coming up, spots the player, but can't quite land the spray down. James just moving a little bit too much right there, so that's going to allow Lucas to get that frag, but Jammin going to answer it right back, backing up his angle from Archway now. They're piling up towards top of Banana. Frost, a sole player here, has to tuck himself behind Emo, and as the flashbangs come in from Immortals, he throws out one of his own, comes out wide, but he gets blinded by his own flash into 6 HP and put down by Steel. So now James, sole player alive, AWP in hand, might try and get some exit frags, has it lined up, but doesn't know. So just probably looking for those exit frags.
Yeah, there was the tiniest break in smoke there, but they're going to go ahead and re-smoke that off from Immortals. And now Top Gun are going to be in a difficult spot, at least. If Jammin can hold on to this AWP in the next round, he can make some sort of magic happen, but it's looking really difficult. Immortals, they don't look completely woken up, neither do Top Gun. I mean, we saw James, he had that excellent chance when he was in halls there. Jammin about to run into someone, though. It's going to be Steel at the bottom of the stairs.
What?
But there we go. Jammin lands the shot into his dome, takes him out. Second man spotted out. He's really trying to run away and secure this AWP into the next round. So now our scoreline is going to be 3-2, still in favor of Top Gun.
The question is, does Top Gun force up pistols around this and try and play around Jammin? It would be quite difficult to do. Some armor's bought up, actually, UMP in the hands of Maverick, so they're just going to go very light on utility and force up as much as they can. 2 M4s as well. Didn't seem like they had enough for that, but they're going to be going glass, or not semi-glass cannon, but light on armor. Will not matter against the headshot power of those AKs, but their Jammin is supported by 2 players over into apartments, so they're going to get aggressive. FNX holding up top of mid. Lucas already up through window. He's going to be pushing into Boiler Room. 2 players seem to have hurt each other on both sides. Sprays coming through. Maverick dancing around bullets, still somehow not tagged it, but Steel, he is there. right around the corner. Who has the better angle? Who will see whose shoulder first?
I think Steel sees his gun first. Yeah, he
Yeah.
sees his gun. There we go. Sprays him through the wall, brings him down to 18 HP. Maverick will be able to back off. He's got the help of James there, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade as Steel gets a double kill. That's a triple, just peeking wide out from Boiler Room now, and Age is completely free. The bomb's going to be able to rotate on out. And that's also the AWP down. That was Jammin playing over by Cubby going down to Steel.
Yeah, last two players just holding down on B. Both planting the bomb at A at the moment. Something tells me Top Gun's probably not going to go for this. But the real question is, will they be able to hold onto those M4s as Hen1 and FNX start pushing up towards the upper Banana? Huckleberry, Frosty taking separate angles, trying to hold themselves back. One of them by Dark will soon possibly be seen by Henny.
We saw yesterday Henny was pretty warmed up with his AWP, and there it is. Finds the smallest of pixels, takes out Huckleberry, and now it's all down to Frosty. They invested so much into this round.
Frosty, last one alive. Two players on either side, slowly closing in on him. Seconds to go down before they seal up. He gets the first frag, taps away, but can't quite get the frag onto both, so they are going to be carrying nothing into the next round. But with 4-round loss bonus, they still have a bit of cash, and I expect some forced up pistols, but right here, the chase, it goes. Steel gets that nice frag and immediately pops out here on the mid with the most confident of shots, just lines it up perfectly, takes out Jammin.
Yeah, Maverick just took a little bit too long going for that peek into the room. He knew there was someone there, at least one person, right? Because they were spamming through the wall. They're just going to go ahead and push through mid, it looks like, or maybe even wrap around towards apartment here. Every single time there's been someone over in balcony, it's been, I believe, Lucas playing that. And so now they are going to be challenging over by Boiler. Lucas going over to the top. Once again, he's playing this a little bit more cautiously now. Has to be careful. He spots out one. That's going to be Huckleberry. Finds another, tries to spray him down.
Wow.
We'll get him. Maverick, that one. Now the spray through the wall is going to continue, bringing down Frosty. But James finds one, trades. Bolt is going to be able to take him down. Now are they going to expect Jammin's angle here? Lucas with just full control over Halls now. Jammin unfortunately not able to land with those bullets. He will go down. That's going to be the 4th round for Immortals.
Immortals right there, not even seeming to care about the bomb, just dropping it at bottom Banana and going hunting for those players on the eco round, making as much bank as they can. But Top Gun, on that 4-round loss bonus, they are going to buy up. AWP comes out, light on utility to 2 of the players, but M4s are going to come out in the hands of everyone else. Right now, we do have a technical pause, though, on the side of Immortals.
At this point, so we're going back into the rifle round. I think the idea behind what Top Gun have been running on their defense has been right. One small adjustment they can make is possibly try to give Jammin a little bit more space, more windows of opportunities to try and get those frags with that AWP. He's been primarily playing by Arch side, maybe moving on over to Banana.
That was my thought exactly.
And because you know, the rest of that squad, they've got the skill. They can definitely hold down Arch side. It's one of the tighter angles, one of the easier angles to hold as a CT. You can have one of your impact players play a more crucial role.
And that's typically what they've done in previous games. But right now, I like seeing the early aggression, trying to take hold of Halls, getting up into Boiler, trying to make something happen out of aggression. And now that it hasn't worked, I'd expect to see a slight adjustment, but keeping some pressure there back and, like on and off again would be quite smart. But Immortals already had a good read in that early in that round before they even pushed up with like 4 players up into Boiler.
Yeah.
Immortals already Molotoved it off, backing them off, pushing that up, letting Lucas get up there for the early peak and get that first pick.
Yeah, it's been pretty one-dimensional the way that, you know, Immortals have been approaching this, right? Every single time, Lucas goes up top, he takes control of Halls from balcony, and then they have full Boiler control. Like, there's nothing going on that entire side of the map for the side of Top Gun. They had James try to play a little bit aggressively there, but he got punished, and he wasn't feeling it at all. So instead, they tried to send 5 men over there, but they felt on the side of Immortals that they were getting a little bit red, and so played it a lot more slower than they had in previous rounds. But you know, this is once again going into the rifle rounds. We did see Top Gun being able to trade a bit with Immortals, but there's gonna have to be someone on the side of Top Gun to like step it up a little bit more. I mean, Jammin, we've already seen some glimmers of hope coming out from him, but someone else needs to step up.
I think we'll see more of the other players over on the terrorist side, but for now, Jammin, like you said, flickers of hope. I think that right now he is their power player on the CT side, and as we said earlier, throw him over towards B, see what he can do, because Bolts and usually one other player are slowly creeping up there. He can get aggressive, get that pick. We usually have been seeing Henny going for that mid peak, and until there's a slight adjustment, I don't imagine we'll see too much of a different play style coming from Immortals.
Yeah, I mean, so Jamin's been playing by Arch. There was a play onto A. I feel like everyone died before like the bomb went down there, really. But I feel like there's definitely something they could do a bit differently over at A. Maybe play just a bit passive. I understand, you know, wanting to make sure that Immortals just don't have full map control, trying your best to get a little bit aggressive on halls, but you can play that a little bit more passively, play by balcony, you know, try and wait out those angles instead of trying to force them yourself on the CT side.
And I'm sure they will. These guys right now just want to, like, it seems like they want to open up saying, we might respect you, but we're going to play our own game, and we're going to be just as aggressive as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these guys, they've been playing at the top level for the last year and a half. They've got so much LAN experience, so much online experience, playing inside a team house, everything, you know, behind them there. At that point, you understand that, yeah, they know how to dictate the pace of the game. They know how to take initiative. And Top Gun are just trying to figure out how to take it back from them. And I think that's much better than instead of just sitting around. We saw when Banishers were facing off against Immortals that they were so scared they kept cornering themselves over a T-spawn.
Yeah, like bunching up,
Yeah.
like completely afraid, backing off as soon as they saw any players.
Like Lucas goes to the top of mid, and then all three members that were there just immediately just retreat and fall back, right? And so at least Top Gun at this point, they're not playing scared.
No. Confidence, smiles, they seemed really energetic when I saw them down there. They were even talking with the Immortals guys a little bit before the setups were kind of getting going. So definitely going to be a friendly game and just going all out as they can.
All right, so looks like we might have gotten the 5th member back in on the side of Immortals, but until we figure that out, no. I think it was Henny who dropped out. That's Bolts currently. And now, on the side of Immortals, once it got into the rifle rounds, we did see like they were able to just win some of these individual duels, but they were pretty close. They were pretty close.
After the initial rifle round, where Immortals only got, you know, one, I think they lost one player to their own team. So
Yeah, well,
Jam
at that point, Top Gun were still sitting on their SMGs.
True. But yeah, Jammin got some crazy flicks, nice rotations. James got one up in apartments. Maverick traded one out, but really, it was a little bit messy. Like, they've gone for those aggressive plays, and like we said, things are going to probably be switched up at this point.
All right, just still waiting on confirmation about these tech issues. But it looks like, yeah, they're ready to get into the match very shortly, guys. Might have to Tournament Doctor because he did drop out of the game at the beginning of the round, and so probably lost a few nades there. Yeah, it's relatively close so far. I mean, getting those pistol rounds was super crucial for Top Gun there. They were able to string together 3, and already on the analyst desk, they had expected, what, 16-5 and 16-4.
I believe so. So immediately making it much closer than I think anyone had anticipated, and already Top Gun got more rounds against Immortals than the prior 2 teams combined, which is a hefty goal. I was kind of thinking 16-5 would be really nice, but I wasn't willing to spin a wheel for it or anything.
All right.
But looking at the maps, also, it's incredibly difficult as the analyst desk was going over. I mean, Mirage, Inferno, Overpass.
Overpass is the final map, yeah.
Those are 3 maps. I'm like, I felt they're the strongest. The analyst desk said that Mirage not one of their strongest things since they lost Phelps, but looking at them play, I think they played it a couple times at DreamHack Austin. They looked quite strong on it.
Oh, it's, you know, been competitive for so long. It's been active duty for so long. In Pug style, you know how to play it.
Yep.
You have the standard default, right? You go 2-1-2.
And it's one of those maps that lets aggression. It's one of the fewer maps nowadays that lets like CTs get crazy aggressive, and it's so interesting to see. Like when we get Lucas on that map going up mid,
Yeah, if you get the proper spawn, just jump out window, no problem.
I think it's one of the more entertaining maps. This one, not too bad at all. We've seen some crazy plays come out of them from the likes of Jammin here. sitting on mid almost every single
I
time.
love these players' poses so much.
Everyone has a different one. They're beautiful. I need to get one of those jerseys. So, James, if you're watching the VOD, hit me up. Had those custom made for his team.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right, we are right back into this. It is the 8th round here. Top Gun facing off against Immortals. Now this is going to be the full rifle buy coming out. A little bit light on utility from Top Gun, but that'll be okay. Once again, up top, it is going to be Lucas, made his way into the balcony.
Immediately, we do see Jammin, though, already switched up to go top of Banana.
And he's got the backup of Huckleberry, but they are making their way up towards quad side by A. But it's over here at Banana. First shot missed by Henny. He's going to try and flash himself out. Jammin just goes for that spam, gets tagged by some bullets, has to back off. Henny was taken down to 41 HP, though, in that exchange.
Over here on B, though, players are already pushed up on the side of Immortals. Lucas is going to find the first, puts James down, who's in the back of pit. Maverick hiding behind box on site, gets the first frag, spots at the second player, gets that as well. Can hear the footsteps of Lucas, who's already being sprayed up through the smoke. But Maverick has to drop back, reload. Lucas down to 6 HP. He's going to try and flash himself in for another peek. Sprays to the smoke, but can't find anybody. Meanwhile, Hen 1 going to be boosted up on top of his teammate here before he jumps over on top of Patio. That'll give him a little bit better of an angle as this smoke dissipates.
Yeah, now Hen 1 making his approach.
This is so crafty. I've never seen anyone like boost from that direction to go on the site like that. And
It gives him a nice angle over pit, but he still doesn't know if there's a man over here. That's why he's so wary. He's got bolts checking that angle for him. Frosty still holding on site. He could definitely do this, but not with Hetty taking him out. Now Jammin has made the rotation on in, playing over by Library. Now he's going to be waiting as the bomb has gone down onto the A site here. So a 2v2 situation. Luke is down to 6 HP. Bolt's at 28. This is completely doable as Huckleberry has come in, but he has to be careful. Lucas on the lurk over here by Boiler. He's going to make sure to check that angle. Takes him out. Now it's a 2v1.
Time is running down, though they don't have kids. Bolt is up there in apartments. Jammin closing on in to get towards that bomb. Huckleberry making some noise, trying to bait Bolts out. Bolts is not budging, though, has not heard it get tapped, and now it's too late. Huckleberry may have got the kill, but they have to run for it. Can they get far enough away to try and salvage those weapons in the next round?
Jammin was who I was mostly worried about there.
So low. Huckleberry taking a slightly different angle. He is going to upgrade his rifle to that AK, though. But Mortal is going to string 5 rounds together. Top Gun going to have full loss bonus to be able to buy back in those weapons. And here we see Maverick getting those first 2 opener picks. Made it look so possible for him, and even did a lot of damage through that smoke.
Yeah, he got really caught off guard. He didn't know there was a third man inside that smoke. Was really expecting that balcony angle there. And if he had just spammed on through, gotten that final member, it could have been a completely different round there. But now, round number 9, 5-3 our scoreline. Immortals. Once again, Lucas in the bedroom, spamming all the angles. Last time he was able to tag down, I believe it was Maverick down to like 14, 15 HP. Doing that. Jammin has adjusted himself. He's gone over to the arch side. There's 2 members of Immortals up here in the apartments, while 3 are just hovering over at the bottom of mid.
Hit Top Gun, switching things up, keeping Jammin rotating, playing a little bit further back and passively as we had anticipated for going any sort of Hall's control, because Immortal is just so strong, spraying through those angles, managing to do so much damage before anyone even has any player contact. But 55 seconds left, a couple of flashes, and smokes are going to be thrown over towards the B site. Bomb is still back by T-Ram, so keeping their options open as they put their feelers out to try and find out a little bit of information. Lucas is going to find more than that, though. Gets a kill onto James and deals a heavy amount of damage onto Huckleberry, who's right behind him. For now, looks like the Immortals are going to be rushing this bomb on over towards the B site. 30 seconds to work with. Maverick, though, up close, holding opposite of Arches, where Jammin is completely holding a nice crossfire. Maverick spots out the first one, takes Lucas down, reaches even player numbers, but as that happens, loses the duel to steal. Bolts gets a frag over there on the B-bomb site before he backs up, and now Jammin alone here on the A-bomb site gets flashed off and might just have to save this already. 1v4 does make this to 1 down, 1v3. Steal taken out, and now once again no kit, and Frosty so far back. It's just going to be exit frags at this point.
Yeah, you need to bring every little bit of firepower to every single round. You can't just give away free ones, and you don't want to let Immortals just punish your economy. You've got that lost round bonus here. Just try your best to salvage as much as you can, and especially if it's going to be jamming with that AWP. He's already 9-0-3. He's been doing a good job of just staying alive through these rounds. He doesn't have much money behind him now, but at least he has been able to hold on to that op.
Yeah, we do see Bolts running up there. Might find one of these players, but all he manages to do is get tagged down to 11 HP, so he's going to walk away with that weapon. Going into this 10th round, I should say. Top Gun do have that AK and AWP to buy around. Huckleberry has enough money to buy a couple UMPs and drop those around if they wish to, but instead, James and Maverick's going to upgrade to CZs, play this one a little bit more safe economically.
Yeah,
try to take any advantage they have.
Kind of want to see Frosty give over that AK to Maverick, because he's been such a great player over by A for them, and then just rotate on over to B, back up jamming with the AWP, and just, spread out that firepower just a little bit, as we did have some members floating on over at the top of Banana there, Molotovs and nades, plenty coming on out. Huckleberry taken down to 2 HP.
These aggressive holds up of Banana are not paying off for Top Gun after those first initial rounds. Getting so much damage done to him, but still a lot of confidence. Frosty looked like he was trying to jump peek that. But he's just putting himself up on a position on top of sandbags. Knows that he was going to have his teammate throw that smoke, so he has an angle to work with now. Immortals, minute left in the round. Do not have to fully dedicate themselves here, but Henny's just trying to get a pick.
He's been spamming. I think that's like his second clip.
Yeah.
Actually, with that AWP, just no-scoping down Banana there. Nades are coming out, spots out one. Frosty gets the kill onto Bolts before Henny is able to trade that away, but now it's going to be going down to Huckleberry. No, they're rotating the bomb on out over at A. Steel made his entry, got 2 frags off of it, and it's almost a free say. It's going to come down to Jam and try and hold this down over by Library.
Yeah, and Huckleberry is on the rotate with only 2 HP. There's only so much he can do, so it's all going to be up to Jam, who's already been tagged down and finished off by FNX coming out of balcony. Huckleberry just going to try and save this AK now. Just save after save for Top Gun, and their economy so broken down. Immortals looking so strong. They did get a couple consolation kills, but with the way that the Immortals have been staying alive round after round, it's not really going to matter too much. And now Hen 1, he's going to be on his way back towards T-spawn. They're going to try and hunt this down.
Jammin should be able to get another op into the next round. Top Gun, lightly investing into this one, should be able to just be full power for the next one. But yeah, they need to trade a little bit more effectively at this point. Immortals are building up such a bank right now. Henny has been maintaining that op, hasn't had to rebuy it yet. And so now their bank is just swelling, overflowing. Huckleberry got spotted out, will survive the round though, brings the AKN, and this is, that entry coming up from Steel, just getting 2 easy kills onto James and Maverick there. James, his timing on that boiler push has been not optimal so far. He needs to find a different way to approach that if he's going to challenge them, I think.
Yeah, Jammin, once, like you said, has AWP again. Does peek out, gets the frag onto FNX, who's actually been bottom fragging for his team right now, and decides to go aggressive, tries to take a peek up alt mid, but may have heard the jump come out, but spots the player, gets a second one. Jammin is the player they need to show up, and he has. Minute and a half left in the round. Steel's going to back up from alt mid, not wanting to challenge Jammin all alone, so he can go buddy up with Henny over there at top of Banana, where 2 players are going to be laying in wait. Huckleberry and Frosty, who have been holding down that site, this time not playing as aggressively at top of Banana.
Yeah, this is the difference that we've been seeing. Neither opera is actually trying to take the battle against each other, right? Henny's been playing mostly over by Banana, Jammin has been playing by mid, and this is the second time now he's actually caught out FNX at the top of mid with that AWP.
Frosty already spotted out, though. Once again, that Molotov came out late from Maverick. He only did so much damage. Bolts going to get that frag. Huckleberry goes for the rotate. Already spotted out, down to 69 HP. Has to reload, but his teammates are here to back him up.
Yeah, Bomb hasn't gone down yet, but Steel over by Ruins finds that kill onto Jammin. He's dropped down to 8 HP. He's going to survive, though. He's going to go ahead and flash himself out. There's a third man on Ruins, but the flash does not connect. That's going to be James bringing him down. Bolts and Henny. Actually, just Bolts now.
They did it. Already up to one of our analyst predictions. Top Gun are going to go up to 4 rounds. This is pretty impressive, like, already. We kind of thought this was going to be kind of a blowout, 61-62 when we were talking about it yesterday. But Top Gun coming out, completely surprising us and just playing this right. Playing is so aggressive and just with such confidence, like taking these aggressive peeks, jamming, throwing himself down mid after already getting a pick. It's almost greed, but it's kind of what you have to do against a team like Immortals.
Now they're changing it up a little bit because they were able to finally get that off out of the hands of Henny. They're going to be able to bring a second one on in. It's going to be Frosty pushing up, top of Banana, gets the kill onto Bolts. There's a second man. It's Henny. Trades on back though. Nades are still coming out, and Henny has to be aware that Gavin still has that op. And so he's checking that angle, but now he's smoked off at Banana. He's just going to wait this out. But Jam's been playing pretty passively over by the Arch side for the majority of this steal. Now making the approach. Lucas, once again, complete control over Bedroom there. And now they're playing 2-man over by Arch on the side of Top Gun, 1 by Quad.
It looks like we're going to have an A execute come in. We've already got Lucas kind of lurking up there in window room. Maverick going to get smoked off, but he's actually going to get closer to that, try and play on the outside of that cubby. James misses the shot ever so narrowly. He's going to get punished for that. Lucas takes that frag. Maverick gives away his position, throws a couple bullets through that smoke, and now Frosty is getting pinned down on. Gets the first frag onto Lucas, though. Swings out wide. Had to take a risk right there. So low health, it's not going to pay off for him, though. Now 50 seconds. These last two CTs are trying to get onto site. Maverick's going to go down. Jamming gets spotted out, and as quickly as they won one in the previous round, they go right back down. Immortals now leading 8-4.
Yeah, it was just that bank that Immortals bought up, being able to get right back into that round. Steel has been such a boon for them over by the A site there, continually coming in, getting these trades that he really shouldn't, surviving on 8 HP and still finding a second frag, as we saw over by B.
Yep.
When they were in a 5v3 situation already, their HP was already kind of like in the critical area there. Henny spots out one, but unscopes at the wrong time, tags him through the wall, and now Huckleberry stuck in a very awkward position. 19 HP with the Deagle, tries to land it, but it's going to be Bolts cleaning him up. Frosty just peeking at the wrong time. Bolts with the double kill, and that's going to be a free B site. Bomb is still over by the bottom of mid. They're going to recover it right now. It's going to be FNX just holding that angle, though.
Yeah, FNX not in a hurry to pick up that bomb. Just currently looking for any players down mid. Lucas and FNX are both going to find the one. Finish them up. James does answer back with 1 kill, but Steel, nice Uke to end off the round. Finish off that eco.
9th round on the board for Immortals now, and Top Gun, they can invest into pistols and some light nades here. Actually getting the armor coming out from Frosty. He's got the CZ. It looks like they're going to go for a nade stack play coming out. They're sending 3 members on over to mid, just the 2 at Banana. We'll see if they catch out anyone from Immortals. Nades come out, FNX, Bolts drop down, there it is. They get the kill onto Lucas, but getting aggressive over by Alt mid. They get shut down. FNX with the double kill, Steel finds one for himself, and now it's just down to Huckleberry and Frosty playing over by Banana. I found that a little odd. If you're gonna push down mid, you should be pushing down, Banana at the same time. Really try to force their attention every which way, but now it's all down to Frosty. He does have the armor and the CZ that he can try to bring into the next round.
At this point, with the damage, so much damage being done to Immortals, might be nice to go and try and pry one of those weapons out of their hands. Carry that, have a little bit more extra weaponry because their money is a little bit light. They will be able to force up some rifles in the next round, but Frosty could get so much more. And still, Bob, bottom of T ramp. Immortals not really interested in planting. They're just going for kills at this point.
Yeah, that's FNX with the bomb, finally making his way on over to the B site. It's completely cleared on out. Steel has to have heard him.
Definitely.
He knows.
He
now
does.
he's on the hunt. He hears him backing off, and now he's on the lurk for him. Frosty just a little wary that there might be someone behind him. Caught with his knife out, pulls out his pistol, but Steel will clean that up.
Yeah, 2 kills in that round for Steel. Currently top ranking for his team, 17 kills. Second only followed up by Lucas, who's currently sitting on 12. Steel, just an amazing young talent. Just brought him this roster something like 6 to 8 months ago. To replace, I believe, I can't remember the player's name right now. I think it was Showdown or something like that. But coming in and just such an amazing raw talent that's been shaped and molded by the likes of Immortals into something that's just kind of out of this world at times.
Final round of the half, 10-4 our scoreline. Top Gun able to buy in, but that's not great. Frosty heard they dropped down to about 40 HP because of that HE nade, and Lucas once again, full confidence as he pushes in. Now he's making his way down Boiler Stairs. James playing a bit more passively here. Isn't going to try and actually challenge by the stairs. They're smoking off quad side, which we've been seeing them particularly smoke off the archway, really try to shut down Jammin a little bit more. So interesting that they went for that, but once again, Steel with the entry frag over on the A site. Finds a second. No, he goes down to James, and now it's a 4v4, but James has dropped down to 5 HP.
Lucas holding up close. Bolts gets ones over there on the B-bomb site while James repositions himself up on top of this box and has a player to come support him. That player getting heavily tagged up, though. James goes for the commit with 5 HP. Gets the frag, deals some heavy damage onto Henny as well. Jammin now, coming from library side, gets caught in a Molotov, done 23 HP as he tries to escape. Henny's going to get that frag. And then James, last player on the site as the rotation is coming in from his teammate, but he's a bit far off. Bullet right through the box over his shoulder, and he knows he's getting pinned on. Hen's going to get the kill. Frosty, he's coming in, spotted a player, now having a little pre-fire duel with Bolts. Comes out, can't quite get it. Bolts down to 3 HP.
Despite the scoreline, some of these duels were really close. I think Top Gun could have walked away with an extra round or two there. But at this point,
so much damage has been dealt. Like, you can't see it in like kills, but just these are very close little individual duels.
Oh yeah, there's that, but also Steel has been just a pretty hard carry, I would say, over there on the A site. Every time coming in with those entry frags, I think almost every single round getting like 2 frags for the most part when they make a play for that A site. So now we're swapping sides. It's going to be Immortals on the CT and Top Gun, though. They found more of their success on the T side yesterday. We'll see if they can continue that success, but already there isn't much wiggle room for them at this point. They need this pistol round.
Definitely. Frosty showed up big last pistol round, but that was a different place, different weapon now. Only has the Glock, which does not have the same range advantage that the Immortals have with those USPs. FNX getting aggressive all the way down mid, where James currently in a little bit of the battle. Puts himself in a good position, but does get caught out as 2 players start moving on over towards apartments. FNX does get traded out. Frosty got that one. Maverick answers back with them Bolts. Going big with 2 headshots on the James and Maverick. Going to bring this to a 2v3 for Top Gun, but does get knocked down. Lucas takes that out. All up to Frosty again. He got 4 kills last time. Can he do it again? He's going to need to.
That's so annoying when you've got the Glock and all you're landing are body shots up against armor there. It's just, why is this guy not dying? FNX was just able to take his time. Bolts was the one that came up to clean up through that smoke there. So now Frosty just wants to try to bring this armor into the next round, but this is not what you wanted to see as Top Gun. You needed that pistol round. I mean, that first pistol round in the first half gave them 3 rounds to work off of and bought them, some time there. Frosty, though, gets the headshot onto Henny. There is a second man over here at the bottom of mid. It is going to be Lucas at full health. Tags him just a little bit, but Frosty with a nice headshot. 20 seconds left to work with. Now he's booking it down. Banana, he has to be careful, though. Bolts is still on his flank, but Bolts dropped down really low, playing cautiously. He's going to work his way up. Banana, never mind. He just balls to the walls. Just going for it.
As he should. I think he knew where that player was, but expected a rotation to come through CT. So now Frosty, in a 1v1 duel, just needs to land like 1 or 2 bullets most onto Bolts. It's going to be difficult, though, with the USP advantage for those headshots. Frosty currently 56 HP. Jiggle peeking around, working around the clock. That's 1 bullet, 3 HP. Bolts desperately trying to get it. Frosty does it again. 2 pistol rounds, 2 4Ks. Top Gun wins, and they are going to move on, get some more money in their bank to try and use this momentum to keep them in this. 16-5. Analyst Desk is excited.
My heart almost stopped there for a second. Yeah. Frosty coming in clutch once again for Top Gun here in the pistol round. And you saw for a moment, I was thinking that entire time, just go on burst mode, just go for that spam shot around the corner. He tried it, tagged him down, I think it hit him like in the hip. Had to go for one last final bullet to clean him up, but Top Gun immediately just buying on in. We got the AK on Frosty's hands there. You got the MAC-10 for Huckleberry and the UMPs, and even a Galil coming out for Jammin'.
So absolutely everything they can buy. Immortals doing somewhat of a similar setup. 3 CZs, 2 Deagles, body armor and helmet on 4 of those players. Right now, Top Gun just playing it patiently, waiting for any sort of aggression, but Immortals actually changing things up from their normal play style and holding further back. One of those players slightly tagged up. Steel got pegged down to 88 HP for the time being. Minute left to work with, and we do see one of the players of Huckleberry going up towards B, where Hen 1 is currently trained on that angle. Has one more player to support him, though.
Yeah, it's going to be his brother. Lucas and Henny just been running together for the majority of this map. Now, we do have Top Gun now, all grouped up over here by Banana, pushing on in. The smokes are coming out. Shots missed by Henny. Lucas goes down first. Now he's cornered off over here by Newbox. Jammin cleans him up. FNX is going to make the rotation through Ruins, but the bomb is going down over by the fountain. Now FNX still smoked off. Doesn't have an angle here.
FNX did spot out the head, tries to shoot through the smoke, does line it up. Heavily tagged up player. Frosty at 4 HP, James at 11. They're going to rotate on back. Bolts is actually hightailing it out with the CZ. Looks like Immortals are saving these upgraded pistols, just leaving FNX to try and do some damage on the exit. So Top Gun actually getting a little bit of respect out of Immortals. Very interesting.
Yeah, these pistol rounds, Top Gun have been able to carry them on moving forward with that momentum. We saw a lot of teams being plagued, right, by those anti-eco rounds. But Top Gun, they've been one of the better teams about not losing to the eco rounds.
Very true, actually, and very smart economically, as we've seen even this match, of just knowing when to save and when they want to upgrade those rifles and, upgrade those SMGs. I'm curious to see if they're going to do it again here.
Well, yeah, moving into the third round here, we did have, we saw that, or Top Gun saw that Immortals did have those upgraded pistols and some armor there. So Top Gun are going to be able to actually stretch this advantage much further than they were on the CT side. Immortals, of course, being able to get the plants down and everything, we're able to buy in much sooner. But here on the CT side, your economy just gets punished if you lose, right? And now Jammin just spamming that angle. Frosty, he is in bedroom. No one to challenge him quite yet. We got two members over by Arch, one over by Quad as Huckleberry is making his way up Banana, making some noise. Bomb is still hovering over there close to T-spawn.
Immortals holding pretty far back, not getting too aggressive quite yet, but Steel is holding a nice mid angle that might be taken advantage of here as Frosty. He's going to pop out. That player was blinded. Both does answer back, though. 3 bullets left. Can't quite get the shot lined up. James in a little bit of a battle now. FNX getting pressured on by 3 players. Jam is going to get that kill with the Galil through the box, and Henny's here. He's been amazing with this pistol before, and he do it again. Seems to be scared by his brother right there momentarily. Maverick's going to take both of them out. So Top Gun now beating both of the predictions, 7-11, and we're going to have our first rifle round in this half.
Yeah, we're going to see if they want to upgrade so far. I mean, they're sitting on that Galil still. They've got the UMP and the MAC-10. Once again, it's about just trying to stretch their economy as long as they can. I'm okay with them actually doing this up against Immortals right now. At least, you have some firepower going into this round up against the rifles. Now, Henny does have that AWP. He's been kind of silent, but he has had those rounds where it's come in clutch. It's hard to say that he's been silent just because Steel has been so loud, and there we go. Henny immediately getting punched there by Huckleberry, getting flashed on out, and Huckleberry, who was actually largely silent on the side of Top Gun, he's the bottom frag right now, able to get those 2 entry frags. That's the B bomb site as the bomb is going to go down. We do have the rotation coming out, and it looks like it's going to be Steel over there to face off against Maverick. Maverick has to be careful. I think he saw his rifle, but there it is. Steel not able to connect with those shots. 4v3 retake situation, but everyone's rotating on in from CT side.
FNX there now to support. They are going to be slowed down, trying to push back into that bomb site. Actually looked like Steel was trying to get out of there, but Huckleberry stopped, and now FNX is kind of in a bad place. He's going to just have to go for this, try and deal some damage, and that he does. Maverick gets taken out. Nice little burst shot, and he's just going to try and pick up that AWP and get out of there, it looks like. Bolt's already way back. Oh, my boiler. Huckleberry takes the peek, gets the frag, and now he's going to go hunting. My, how the tables have turned on Immortals.
And honestly, you couldn't hope for really anything better at that point from coming out from Top Gun, right? They got the B site with those 2 entry frags coming out from Huckleberry. They were able to recover that AWP that Henny had, bringing these rifles on in, and take a look at their economy. They're building up a decent bank. James picking up a P90 instead of going for a rifle here, so I'm expecting a lot of aggression. He's already making his way up alt mid right now. Nades coming out from the side of Immortals. They've got a triple stack over there. by B. James at the top of mid. He's got that P90, just spamming the angles, finds the first kill onto Bolts.
Steel is there to answer it back, though. Runs out of bullets, and James managed to take advantage of that. Nice 2K with that Pro 90. And now we're going to see a player move on up. That's going to be Huckleberry trying to get towards up a banana. His flashes are going to give away his position, but he's actually going to back off after that. Bomb is going up mid. James is here, spots out another player, takes up another head. 2 players left for Immortals, and they are way spaced out. It's going to be Henny alone on this A-bomb site as 5 players actually push on in, and he gets shot through the wall. James on a 4K with the P90.
This is the James that we were expecting to see yesterday, the second time they were in Inferno. FNX does finally get a trade for them. That's going to be Huckleberry going on down. He's able to recover the M4, but they know roughly where his position is. James has to be careful, giving away his position with that nade, spamming through the walls. It's going to be FNX finding that second kill, but now he's completely stuck here in Bedroom Gem, and we'll be able to clean that up with a deagle shot to the dome. So now, Top Gun bringing this within 2.
This is mind-boggling. Nobody expected this, except for maybe Top Gun at this point. I don't know if they expected it really, but definitely had high hopes, and they are making such a good showing against this team. I'm so happy they made it this far. They were underdogs all the way through this tournament, through the qualifiers even, and now going up against a team that nobody could get more than 1 round on a map. Suddenly Top Gun showing off that they had the skills, but right now Henny's showing off. He takes Huckleberry for an opening pick. That's going to be a slight advantage for Immortals. First one so far. He gets a second on the Maverick as he tries to cross up towards mid.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went for that cross. Jammin gets flashed in, but Henny is able to readjust his position behind the wall, gets the kill. That's going to be a third for him, and he's just shutting down Banana by himself. Now Frosty is able to finally answer back, but no. Henny ending this round of the 4K, and that's that AWP, and they changed up that position a little bit. Playing over there at the top of Banana and getting really aggressive with it really paid off for them, but still, that entire time, Top Gun have been focusing on their economy and just been cutting some corners, which didn't get punished coming up from Immortals, right? And so now Top Gun, though, they're going to go with 2 MAC-10s. It's going to be on Huckleberry and James.
Jammin holding that mid angle, didn't spot anyone crossing, and now Henny. A lot of grenades coming through. Molotovs being extinguished by that smoke. Nade rings in from Lucas, but he's going to get answered back by James from afar with that MAC-10. Top Gun going to back it on up to bottom of Banana. Henny's readjusting his angle. Jammin tries to put some pot shots to that smoke, but not going to find anybody anytime soon, as they have retreated on back, taking those even player numbers and just holding some more passive angles for the time being. Frosty doing a similar thing. Up there in halls, didn't find anybody in the aggression as Bolts had backed off. One more player of the Immortal side back on top of balcony. So now it's just Jammin, holding this angle, waiting for any more aggression from Immortals.
Yeah, it's surprising how many nades that actually Immortals have been able to hold on to. It's 55 seconds left in the round, and they've maintained that's basically all the utility that they bought at the beginning of the round, the ones in their inventory right now. And Top Gun, I think they could have done a better job of trying to like force those out a little bit earlier here. 4v4. They've got all 4 members on the side of Top Gun at the top of Banana, just lining up their nades right now. It's going to be down to Henny and Steel. Henny does have that AWP. He's playing it on over, but it doesn't matter as Steel, holding that angle, picks up a double kill.
25 seconds left in the round. They've got to hustle. They have such low health. There's only 2 people on this site for the time being. They are going to smoke off from CT as there was a player rotating, but Henny has his tight angle. Steel takes the kill, though. Henny finalizes it, taking off Mavericks, and Immortals starting to run away with it again.
13-9 our scoreline now, and there he is. That's Steel. He's currently on 18 kills. I feel like that's a little low for how impactful he's been.
Exactly. I mean, it seemed higher earlier on. Eventually, Lucas and Henny both really like stepping it up, but Steel kind of having the more impact kills in these past 2 rounds or so.
All right, Henny once again at the top of Banana. With that AWP, it's James now getting aggressive with the back 10, pushes onto the man, but there's Bolts to back him up. He's going to get punished for that. And now already their man down. Henny, though, getting pushed through the smoke. He made his way all the way towards the bottom of Banana there, gets punished by that. And now both sides, they're aggressive. I don't want to call them entry practice. What was Henny doing there with that AWP? Jammin coming on in, caught Lucas out with a nade. He's got that AWP, spams that shot through the smoke, and now they're onto the B site. Going to get the plant on down. It's going to be a 3v4 retake situation. Jammin misses that shot on the man over, coming in from the rotation with the from CT, spots it out over the smoke there. It's going to be Steel going down. Misses the next shot. Will be able to back away. 26 HP though. Huckleberry trying to back him up. Goes for those shots. Bolt's brought down to 65 HP.
2 players left alive. FNX is spotted out. Does a little bit of damage before he's put down. It's off to Bolts. He can't do it though. Top Gun going to put themselves into double digits. Closing in. Only 3 rounds separating these 2 teams now. And the economy of Immortals going to be a little light, but they're going to force up regardless. Famas in the hands of Steel. CZ and Lucas. M4s and AWP. So, moderate utility, a little light in the weaponry. And Henny doesn't care. He's going to go on in anyways. Trying to channel his inner JW. 2 rounds in a row. It's not going to get punished this time. He's going to skip with 72 HP and retreat back on that B-bomb site. But the rest of Top Gun kind of spreads out around the maps. And here we see James with that Mac 10 in his stomping grounds up top of Hall where FNX is there. They're going to exchange some grenades. FNX is going to bail. And things are going to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Bolt's playing by quad. Last time I believe he was caught out boosting on top. Now we've got Huckleberry over at the top of mid. And he's already dropped back towards New Box for that AWP. The bomb is making its rotation on over. James and Frosty making plenty of noise over here at A site. So they're going to keep 3 members on the side of Immortals over there by A.
Huckleberry, this flash on in, allow Jammin to take the peek, but nobody holding that angle for the time being. 44 seconds. Top Gun, you've got to find something now. Smokes are kind of in the way, closing them off. Looks like Steel's going to be on the opposite edge of this. Does he hear it? Here, throws the Molotov. They're going to push right on through it. That's going to be an interesting rotation now as James goes back over through Library, spots out the player, gets the frag onto Bullets, and they're going to book it on over towards the B side. 3 players at top of Banana are going to be pushing in any moment. Now, they have to go now. 20 seconds, guys. And Steel is here. Over by CT spawn. Can't quite get the frag. Maverick gets an opener, but that's going to be a little too late as there's 10 seconds left. Lucas actually managed to get put down, but Henny, he is here, and he holds on for 4 more seconds, and he can't do it. Somehow, Top Gun get on the site. 5 seconds left to plant, and Steel creeping up Banana. He's ended, and Top Gun put 1 more round on the board, now within 2 of tying it up.
Oh, if that Molotov coming out from Steel had just been there a second earlier, that would have just shut down that push completely. We saw they were able to get the plant down with, what, about a second remaining?
And a half, yeah.
And because they were able to make it through Archway, they were able to cut off the rotations that allowed the members over at Banana just free ability to go into the B bomb site without having to worry about CT at all, even smoking it off. And so great play coming out from Top Gun. Once again, bringing it within 2 here. We've got a 4-member stack coming out from Immortals at the top of Banana, but Top Gun slowing this down. They've got to feel that Immortals economy not the greatest at this point, and so they're not going to force the issue. They're going to, you know, play the angles, play the range at this point.
Huckleberry holding that angle, waiting for Lucas to peek again. Lucas can prime position to bait for his teammate. Bolts hiding behind that sandbags. Is Top Gun really playing this one slowly again? They're going to start backing off. Bomb's going to be going up towards mid as Huckleberry holds this lurk. Actually makes a bit of noise up here, maybe trying to cement some of these players here. Throws out a smoke to maybe pull a rotation. Most of those players are already there. FNX going to be by Arch's first point of contact, and it's going to happen. Keota! FNX opens up with the frag on a Maverick and rotates on around where soon he might just see this player peek on out. That he does. Can't line up the shot, but the rotation is coming in from the rest of Immortals. Coming up mid, they are going to be piling in, as does Top Gun. FNX gets another and 2!
What?
That's a triple for him so far. Jammin, he's going to end that though. It's going to be 1v3 for Jammin. The knives come out. He gets shivved. Are you mad, Jammin?
You got to be a little bit tilted after that. FNX has been pretty quiet on the side of Immortals this entire map. If we take a look at his scoreline before that, he was sitting on 10 frags, picking up a triple by himself. He was the lone man over on the A side.
If anyone can do that, it's going to be FNX. He is such a good clutch master and made it work for his team right there. So Top Gun, momentum has been halted ever so slightly, but they've got the buyback in on this. And Henny, he's going to keep on getting aggressive, and he's going to get rewarded for it. Huckleberry goes down to start off this round.
Things not looking too great. Immortals on the cusp of sending this to map points. Frosty already made his way through Boiler here. There hasn't been much Hollis control coming out from Immortals whatsoever. They've very rarely sent anyone in through Boiler. Now Bolts has been playing over here by Quad for the majority of this map. Nade came out now. Frosty goes for the peek, gets the kill onto Bolts, try to get the spray down, steal, and them both missing there. But finally FNX will clean that up, spam through the wall.
FNX taking some pot shots through there. Nobody home though. He's going to drop on down, and good timing for him because here James is not his usual weaponry, but has a bit of an upgrade now. It's going to be difficult peeking outside of that because there are two players holding that angle. But for now, Bomb is moving over towards B, where we see Henny trained on this tight angle from behind Coffins.
We've got a flash to work with to make their way on in. It's going to go ahead and come out. Here's the smoke over by the B bomb site, but they're still taking this really slowly, and that's going to buy the time for Lucas to rotate on in. First shot gets missed, but it's going to be FNX taking out the last over at A, and so now it's a 2v4 situation. They need to get the bomb on down. Here's the plant sounds. He's going to try to spam that shot, but he's going to get tagged for that instead. Jammin brought down to 46 HP, though. Now, he is going to back away towards Banana, but FNX is there. Cleans him up. Lucas get that final kill onto Maverick, and now we're on to map point.
Immortals only losing one player there. Economy of theirs was not too good. And Top Gun just needed to take a few more guns out of their hands to give them a chance in this next round because they're going to be on map point, like you said. And there he is, FNX, starting to wake up. He was a little bit slow to start off, and as soon as we had the deagle in his hands over there on the A-bomb side, we see him start to do a little bit more work.
Now, Top Gun's possible final round of this map. Not able to piece together too much firepower. They got that AK, and Huckleberry just trying to push through. It's going to get taken out by Lucas, who's picked up a second frag onto James. Now things are already looking bad for Top Gun. At least they're able to hold on to this AK, along with that UMP. But now take a look. Alt mid. It's going to be Bolts pushing on through.
Currently pushing on through indeed. Might make contact with a player right here. That he does. Maverick is going to go down. Just two players left alive for Top Gun as Bolts retreats through Mexico. And now Frosty knows where that player was. Desperately searching for him. He's going to swap out to that AK where he meets up with Jammin, but he's found out. They are calling the tracers through the smoke. Jammin's going to push on through with only a Mac 10. And that player at top of mid doing a lot of damage to Frosty, down to 6 health. 55 seconds left against 5 players who are all quite weakened, but it's not enough. FNX is going to get that kill. Frosty, sole player alive, 6 HP versus 4 players. This looks like the end for Top Gun's run on Inferno.
But still, not a bad showing.
Not a bad showing
when
at all.
They've already gotten more rounds than the analyst predictions combined.
True.
Right, 4 and 5. So there were some great moments coming out from them here so far. I mean, I don't want to sell them out yet. I mean, Frosty clutched the pistol. Can he clutch this one? It's going to be very difficult sitting on 6 HP. When they were in that 2v4 situation, I thought it was a lot more doable until he got brought down, but there it is. Bolts is going to be able to clean that round on up. And so, Immortals, a little bit of a difficult time, but they were able to close out this map. And I believe Mirage is going to be the next one.
And that should be quite entertaining. I'm guessing that this was actually Top Gun's pick because it's been their best map so far, and even going up against Immortals, who have shown that they are so strong on it. That was an amazing showing to go up against the likes of these guys. And I think these guys are probably going to wake up a little bit more, but Mirage, analysts have said that it's kind of one of their weaker map, and now we're actually going to be able to go talk to them about it.
Yeah, so Blue, Bears, and Vendetta, go ahead and take it away, guys.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. And now as we talk about it, this was a little bit of a surprise, I think, right? We definitely weren't expecting this match to be this close, and it started off right from the very first round. And we saw Frosty go off, get that massive, I think it was a 4K on the pistol round that he managed to pull off there. Where did this come from Top Gun? They just exploded in this map all of a sudden, it seemed.
Well, even with that pistol, I thought for the longest time, you know, that my prediction would stick true. You know, we'd see a 16-14. They win pistol, and Immortals end up getting money. Things kind of normalize. They get one more buy round throughout that entire T half off the back of Jammin's 2 openers. Outside of that, not a lot really went their way, but then Frosty shows up once more in pistol rounds and clutches out a 1v3 situation. that he had no business winning, and that kind of just started a bit of a run from Top Gun, and they did a good job of it. Honestly, on their T side, they were able to take advantage of mistakes being made by Immortals. We saw it, a couple of clowny moves from from Immortals here and there, where Henny, for instance, would rush down Banana, end up in like the most awkward no-scope battle between like two Top Gun players, etc., and then Lucas just following that up with kind of just crossing over towards side instead of doing, well, not really sure what he intended to do, but again, Top Gun just taking full advantage of it and actually making a game out of it. So that was actually pretty fun to watch. Definitely didn't expect them to kind of have that kind of a composure, especially when they don't really manage to put themselves in respect early on from Immortals. In the first half, they do try to play aggressively, which you have to applaud, and that's really cool. But the fact that they're able to fight back on the T side is just awesome to watch. I
loved how Top Gun came out with no fear. On the first gun round, they rushed middle CT.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, these guys are coming to play. But I think it's almost like a double-edged sword to where sometimes Top Gun would get the first pick, say in B or whatever, or Banana, and then the Opper would peak mid when they're up 5-on-4. At that point, just sit back, wait for them to come to you. You have the advantage. So Top Gun, I love the energy. I love how they're just being aggressive. They're not scared of these guys. They're peaking angles. Just sometimes, maybe mid-round, late round, kind of tone it a tiny bit. Stay back, play a little more passive, wait for your teammates to rotate, and a little less individual Superman kind of peaks. I think they would have got more rounds on the CT side, maybe reset Immortals once or twice, and it could have been even a closer game than what it was.
Yeah.
At certain points, it could have very well been a Top Gun victory, it seemed, as they were fighting very close even to the bitter end, and that's where it seemed like, in these last 2 or 3 rounds, that was the only point where Immortals really took like full control of the situation, it seemed. Yeah,
well, I mean, the first half they kind of had full control, and then things started to spiral out of control in that second half, but I think if you're Immortals, you're probably never too worried about how things are panning out. You're always going to manage to do double eco, then you'll get your good buy-in, and then maybe just put a bit of a leash on what's going on in Banana, just chill out on the aggression there, etc. And I think you'll be able to reel it in regardless. But and yeah, no, I think really one of the big key points really as to what could have gotten Top Gun more success would have been what Eric mentioned on the CT side. The fact that when you're up, you have to recognize the advantage that you've given yourself and play off of that, because we didn't see really Immortals execute a single time on that T side. It was pretty much pick-based the entire time. You'd have Henny and Bolts moving up towards Banana initially, then you'd have Steele and Lucas working apps, and almost every single round they'd find a pick just kind of out of the blue every single time, or often multi-kills, honestly, on one of the sites. So they were never really forced into a situation where they lost a man, CTs play passive, don't give them opportunity to get back into it and then set up for an execute or anything like that. It was just straight up like 1 or 2 players moving in towards the site and then just picking apart everyone.
Well, we are going to be heading over to Mirage next. Based on what we've seen here in the first map, do we think that there's going to be a chance for an upset here now? Maybe take this to a third map, or still the quick 2-0 closeout that I think everyone was expecting here?
Even though Top Gun played really, really well, I think Immortals probably had their warm-up right there, and so they're going to bring it a little bit harder. I don't think we saw Top Gun and Mirage yet. I'm not sure though.
No, I don't think we have.
So I have no idea what they're going to do. One thing though is that if they can stop Hen 1 from being super aggressive in middle, I think they have a decent chance by the way they're playing. They're hitting their shots. They have shown awesome teamwork here and there. So if they're able to be a little more consistent and expect Immortals, like on a team like Immortals, they're awesome team. They're very coordinated. So expect people to be right behind the person that you kill. So there's a lot of times where you get one kill, expect Immortals to just have one other person baiting. They have that crisp time going on.
Yeah. I also think going into Mirage that again, it's not a commonly played map for Immortals, so this is a good chance for Top Gun to kind of again flex their individual skill. I guess that's kind of because in this scenario, Immortals are not necessarily going to have as much team play or necessarily set strats and stuff like that to fall back on as they would on maybe Inferno. I think that could also play to their advantage, but it's obviously going to be a pretty big climb for them to have to get past Immortals.
So overall, both of us still feeling Immortals going to close this one out 2-0?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to find out about that in just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. That second map should be coming up, so stick around for more between Top Gun and the Immortals right here from the Esports Arena Santa Ana Showdown Series Championship.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jamerson, once again joined by Insomnia for the Esports Arena Santa Ana Showdown Championship Series. Now, Immortals facing off against Top Gun. We're on to map number 2. It's going to be Mirage between these two teams.
Yeah, and we've seen Mirage be quite a good map for Immortals in recent weeks. And going into this, it is their map pick. I was talking to the in-game leader, Maverick of Top Gun, just downstairs during the break. He's not going into this as confident. They had an amazing showing, better than anyone could have expected over there on Inferno. But it's going to be a little bit of a different ball game here. I had a little bit of advice to give him. We talked about some of his strats, and it's going to be quite interesting. I don't have a whole lot of hope going into this.
I mean, once again, we didn't get to see too much out of them. Only, what, 14 rounds on the CT side where they were able to take it, and then just went 16-1, right? Exactly. But what we did see during their CT side was just heavy aggression, especially out onto mid. Right. Henny was just going uncontested for the most part with that AWP, and we had mentioned it downstairs. Every time he got smoked off in window, he would just immediately jump on down, play by underpass, and just still have free reign over there.
Definitely. Lucas would always push up mid aggressively, but we are going to be starting this quite quickly in Top Gun. They're going to have that bomb dropped to a player over there on A to kind of hold off for any pushes down ramp. They're going to position themselves up mid, making a little bit of noise, actually, and they are going to pile on through. Lucas not being aggressive on mid so far. Henny gets pushed off a window. Bolts is there to play off a jungle, give him a little bit of support. Spots out Maverick, who gets a nice running Glock shot onto his head. And FNX answers back before 2 quick ones go into the hands of Top Gun, looking so strong on these pistol rounds. Opening up, bomb is going to go down, and now we're going to have 2 players pushing through connector. Maverick finds one, though, and it's all up to Steel. We've seen him do 1v4s in pistol rounds before. Let's see if he can do it now, and he's not. Maverick, he gets his 4th frag. These guys are so insane on pistols today.
Yeah. The story of the pistol rounds was Frosty on Top Gun here on Inferno, but here on Mirage, it was Maverick there, really solidifying that round for his team. And so we saw what Top Gun were able to do once they were able to eke out these economic advantages, right? Getting the pistol round, running 2 more. Were they going to expect that scout? They do now, as FNX does miss that shot over by mid.
Yeah, FNX had the God spawn for that. Well, that's why we didn't see Henny with that. But now James clearing out underpass, being very careful, checking every little angle. This guy actually has a much higher sense than I had imagined before. Very quick on these turns, pushing up into connector where there is a player holding up close. Henny rotating off of that, hearing James make some footsteps. He's going to position himself up on top of that wooden horse. Watch that headshot angle. But Froste, he's here to support, not pushing up too aggressively onto Catwalk. Top Gun have actually dropped the bomb back in T-side apps. And Henny gets spotted out in window. He's going to be pushed on back. He's going to go through vents. Huckleberry finally going to start backpedaling. Bolt's actually right hot on his heels in Palace.
Yeah, I like the play coming out from Huckleberry, though. He was just afraid that someone might be, you know, pushing in from A ramp there. So he's going to be the one that rotates on over to Apps, going to pick up the bomb, and now it looks like it is going to be a committal onto this B site. The bombs are going to be getting lined up right now. Should be coming out soon. Now, Lucas does hear out 1, gets the kill onto Frosty over by Catwalk. Nice flash in, but Maverick and James cleaning up 2. Henny lands a nuts shot onto James, but still, it's going to be 3v2 retake. FNX does have that scout. He's playing in apartments, or was playing in apartments before Maverick takes him out.
So now it's Bolts, 1v3. 2 of those players on Top Gun, heavily riddled, down to 30-ish HP. So he does have a chance here. He has armor to work with, spots out 1 player, gets the tap, long range sees it, gets the 2nd frag, and spots the 3rd player, but no! Huckleberry survives with 1 HP to keep Top Gun keeping rounds strung together.
Yeah. Top Gun want these rounds, of course. Everyone wants them, but they want to do it in a better fashion here, but their economy getting really punished. We saw them on Inferno, stretching their economy to its limits, right? When it came to the rifle rounds, they would stick onto the SMGs, and now this is going to be a much more difficult task for them. They got TMPs and the MAC-10s coming in, or excuse me, the MAC-10s coming on out. Jammin is going to be on that Tech 9, though, but Henny playing on over here, gets that lurk kill onto Huckleberry. Now he's getting focused down by Jammin. He will go down as the bombs will be planted onto the A site here. It's going to be a 3v4 retake situation. 2 members caught out by Connector. Frosty getting spammed on down. He's got that AK, gets that first kill onto Lucas. FNX will be able to trade. He tries to recover the gun. He's not getting punished for it quite yet, but James over by CPL will get the kill onto FNX, and now it's all down to Steel, 17 HP. He tries to spray him down, but James coming on in with that MAC-10. That's his gun.
James making a show of that weapon. It's so good to see that being used again. It's been so out of the meta for so long, but now Immortals, they're going to be back on the buy. Interesting left, we see Steel picking up the swag 7. M4's in the hand of the rest besides Henny, who does have the AWP as we see him take that through towards vent. The question is, will Top Gun be able to pressure mid? Henny actually going to smoke himself off its stairs. I had called this play from him. He does this so often, and now spots at the player, doesn't take the shot. Was he spotted out by James though? James currently just spraying that smoke, keeping any pressure off of Catwalk. And Henny's going to move up. James gets the nice shot, though. That's going to be a nice opening pick for Top Gun to start off this round.
Already Top Gun playing so stylistically different than the Banishers did up against Immortals. We saw the fear of, you know, this top pro team being put into the Banishers. Top Gun, though, they're playing their own game. They're not allowing Immortals to dictate the pace of this game. They're dictating it themselves.
Lucas currently working up ladder room where there is a player close by. He's just here to support Bolts as James underneath them for the time being. Here's one jump away, so he might feel this is going to be a safe angle to play, but he still has so many angles to check as he backs up towards Connector. Fortunately for him, Lucas backs off from that hole, but nope, spotted out now. James has it lined up. Lucas was moving too much, so James only got down to 49 HP. Bolts is going to be holding close here in this little cubby. Peeks on out from jungle, gets a double kill. That'll even things back up for Immortals. Spots out another player, gets tagged into 14 HP, did a fair amount of damage himself, but Jammin already on the site. FNX getting riddled with bullets. So low health on the side of both Immortals and Top Gun. Bolts is going to find the first frag to get man advantage in this round. Steel gets one as well. Now Frosty, only 31 HP against 3 players. Spots out the head, takes some shots, but he does have the bomb. So little time to work with.
Yeah, at this point, you just hope for some more frags. But the man over by jungle, that's going to be Steel, picking up a double kill for himself.
And once again, same scoreline as last map. As soon as Immortals get rifles in their hands, they put them to work. And downstairs when I was talking with Maverick, I asked him his prediction. I didn't hear what the analysts were saying, but he's like, I think we're going to get 3 rounds in the entire map. So will this be it? Are Immortals going to run this back for the next 15 rounds, or will Top Gun surprise us as they did last map?
Yeah, one of the differences we're already seeing, because they got so punished in that second round and Top Gun weren't able to hold on to their guns and had to buy back in, they're not able to stretch their economy into this 5th round here. We saw every single round when it went to the 5th round of the half that Top Gun were able to manage some sort of buy, even though they ended up losing the 4th. And now they're just going to go ahead and make a 4-man play. There's 2 over by Palace ready to make their entrance on in. As the smokes do come out, Steel, though, finds the man over by Apartments, playing aggressively, pushing in through. Now FNX waiting on the other side of the smoke on top of the ladder. Are they going to expect this angle? They have to check it.
Bolts takes a little peek, spots those grenades raining in. Pretty default setup here. Doesn't matter to Bolts. Plays on the outside of the smoke, gets the opening pick, and then Henny follows it up with 2. Evening that right on down. They keep all their players alive. Clean round for Immortals, so they're going to start building up that bank. While Top Gun still not in rifle buy territory. Instead, they're going to force up some Tech 9s, moderate utility, and go into the 6th round with a little less to use.
You're going to go ahead and set Bolts and FNX over to the A site. 2 members on Immortals actually playing over by window. That's going to be Henny and Lucas. Henny actually got that boost into the ladder room. Now he's onto Catwalk, but there's no one there at mid to contest him. It's going to be all 5 members from Top Gun. Just waiting, lining up the smokes to go for this A execute. There is a man on Palace. Once again, it is going to be FNX. One playing by stairs, and that's Bolts. No one playing to really cover that A ramp, though. And so Top Gun will have at least a free entry in that regard, in that angle. Now rotations are already coming on out. Lucas playing by jungle now. FNX smoked off, but Bolts once again just shutting it down. Frosty only able to get 1 kill. Huckleberry finds the second one. If he can get the bomb plant down, it still has to recover it there. He has the smoke cover. He should be able to know. He goes for that fake instead.
And going to get punished for it. And he jumping on in with that CZ. So they took 2 rifles out of the hand of Immortals, but it's not going to take too much of a dip in the economy of the Brazilian team. But Top Gun Finally able to afford full AKs. Decent utility as well. Interesting to see where they will take this Jammin, lining up that smoke to cover off mid. Meanwhile, they're going to go for this default play again, and I'm starting to really question this. You can't play this default execute that almost any team runs, but actually it looks like they may have sold that as more of a fake, if anything else. Keeping a couple players there. They look a little hesitant as if they were going to go back towards B, but nope. Committing to this A play as Jammin makes some noise at the top of mid. It's going to draw a little bit of aggression, actually, from Immortals, keeping 2 players up there in apartments for the time being. So a little spread thin. Frost is going to be blinded as he's in there. FNX Molotovs off. Palace throws in some nades over there from Ticket Booth. FNX scrambling for a kill. Manages to get it before he's split down. Traded out. Top Gun pick off one more, so man advantage in their hands.
Yeah, it's going to be the 4v3 as the bomb does go down onto the A site. Now 2 members rotating in from the CP spawn. That's going to be Henny immediately taken down. That's the op out of his hands. James cleaning up Steel, and now it's all down to Lucas. He's brought down to 72 HP, and Huckleberry will clean him up. Top Gun are not out of this, and here's one of the most important things. Yesterday, on Friday, Immortals, they ran rampant. They were allowed to do whatever they want to, push through apartments, push through Palace, push through mid, but they are now respecting Top Gun.
So surprisingly as well. Top Gun, they've got some strength behind them. They will not be beaten down. Even when they start losing these rounds strung together, they still have some amazing plays in them. Bolt's now actually taking the window side. Henny opting to go elsewhere. Bolt sprays down, gets a little more damage over there to Jammin. And before he is smoked off, he's got a smoke of his own though. That's going to go off. I think it might be a one-way smoke as soon as the previous one dissipates. So we'll see how he works off of that. Meanwhile, the rest of Immortals playing rather passive angles. Top Gun playing this one a little bit slower, deciding not to go for that A execute that hadn't worked in previous rounds until last.
Once again, Jammin playing over at the top of mid. He was just waiting out any aggression that might have come out from Lucas. Lucas, though, he's been playing over that by the B site. Immortals have been swapping around their positioning there. Now, all 5 members of Top Gun with 55 seconds are lining up these nades for another A take.
Henny trained on that ramp angle, holding behind Ticket Booth. 45 seconds left. Top Gun are going to have to make a move sometime soon. It's going to be like a 5-man rush. It looks like no. Finally, one actually goes over towards Palace, but first man in is Jem, and he gets put down by Henny, who's going to have to be smoked off. Jumps on top of the box, spots out a player, and gets heavily tagged down. And that's James. He's going to go chasing that kill now. Will he be brave enough to push through the smoke? That he is. Has a flashbang to support him, but now he's got to fight this angle, and Henny's going to win that duel. Now, FNX on top of stairs, smoked off, has a little bit of cover, but it's going to dissipate. He's getting pushed off through that Molotov down to 78 HP.
Yeah, time's starting to tick away, and they don't actually have a kit on the side of Immortals, and with that kill onto Bolt, that's going to slow them down, but Steel answers right on back. Now it's a 2v4. HP not the greatest, though, all down to Huckleberry here. They've got the bomb, and they're going to be able to get a defuse as Huckleberry just backs on out.
Yeah, that was too tough to fight, too many angles. Even with all the low HP, it was really just Steel was holding that stair angle, and it was going to be the toughest battle he had to fight with the likes of Steel and how he's been performing today.
Yeah,
Currently sitting actually one of the lower frags on his game, but impact kills, they count for more.
It really did come down to just Henny getting that initial frag off of A ramp there. The flashes, if there was just the second one over the top, it might have worked out for them. Unfortunately, you know, didn't really get that full connection onto him. So now James pushing in through underpass, and this is what we were talking about. We're seeing Henny jump down from windows so often, tagged down to 49 HP. Great play coming out from James there. Will force Henny out of position.
FNX taking the role that Lucas usually plays, getting aggressive down mid. Not going to spot anyone else quite yet. If he gets a little bit too much further, Jammin is going to be able to spot that out. Currently training that AWP scope on that angle. FNX seems to have a little spidey sense tingling on that. James, though, tucked himself back through underpass, heading back towards T. Apps that bomb. A minute to play with, so right now looking like it might be mid to A split. Jammin slacking a little bit. I don't know what happened right there. Had it lined up and just didn't pull the trigger and is lucky to be alive. FNX tags him down to 20 HP.
Yeah, we heard that dink. And he might have just been like looking away from the monitor for a split second there. I thought he had that shot.
Yeah.
But still, at least he's alive. He's going to hold on to that AWP for now. Huckleberry gets spotted out over by Palace.
He's going to back off as soon as he's seen. Steel, though, Here's James pushing on through apartments. He's going to spray him down through the smoke. Now 30 seconds left. They've picked up the bomb. They're railing their way over towards the A-bomb site, where it looks like FNX. No, that's Bolts currently hiding under dark. Here's the players push forward. No smokes, couple flashes, but no, they're going to flash themselves. Bolts takes advantage of that, squeezes that grenade on through, does a little bit of damage, follows it up, but can't quite get the kill on the Maverick. So now, man advantage is in Immortals' hands. HP is so weak on Top Gun. They haven't planted the bomb. There's 8 seconds left. Lucas sprays through the smoke, gets that frag. Bomb has been dropped. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, it's too late. Huckleberry can't do it and goes down regardless. Only silver lining is that Top Gun, Jammin, salvages the AWP.
Yeah, but that's going to be the only gun they're going to be working with this round. Their money so low. Huckleberry maybe might force up. We do have a match pause coming on. Alex from Top Gun. And, you know, they're still within this. 5-4 our scoring line now in favor of Immortals. But Top Gun, you know, these rifle rounds have been relatively close, I would say. It's just... Man, if he had just gotten that pick, if Jammin could have just gotten that kill, the top mid there.
Yeah, Jammin looking a little sluggish right now, only sitting on 2 kills. He has the AWP to work with still, but it's so hard to go and try and engage that player at window. And when you do, even if you smoke it off, they probably rotate over to connector or work that angle on mid, jump down, work that angle. And they have been seeing it happen, so they do know exactly how he's going to be working. But trying to guess one of those 3 angles to work against Jammin might just want to take the AWP, maybe try and take a fight up in apartments on B side or something. There's not too many great op angles to work with. He could also go over towards Palace and try and work that stair angle, but FNX hasn't been playing there all the time. Usually he or Bolts are sitting either up close Palace or under dark. So not a lot of opportunities for Jammin to work off of, but he's got to start stepping up his game.
Yeah, there was that opportunity also. Henny almost getting punished for that play that we saw very often on day 1. Where Henny, he would just push through windows. He plays at the bottom of mid with that AWP. James almost punched him, brought him down to about 50 HP. Just wasn't able to connect enough bullets there. Now he's going to go for that peek once again to see if Henny goes for that. Didn't spot him out, but take a look already.
There
Getting
we go.
aggressive. Steel goes down over at apartments. Lucas is going to go ahead and molly that off. All 5 members of Top Gun are there. But look at FNX right now with that P90 on the flank.
It's going to work off for the first kill, but he is spotted immediately after. Going to re-grenade that. It doesn't bounce exactly how he intended, so he's going to take a little damage from that himself. But now Top Gun completely pincered in. FNX on one end. And actually, the 2 other players who are pushing up through apartments from B side have actually backed off, taking more passive angles, giving them more respect than I think anyone would have guessed.
This is such an odd position. How often do you see a round evolve into something like this?
It's
with
rare.
the T's actually just stuck inside apartments there. They know that FNX is out lurking somewhere there. Spots him out. Frosty goes down first. Second spray down. FNX with the triple kill. But James comes on back. He has that AWP. Was able to clean him up. Misses that shot onto Bolts though. So now 6-4 our scoreline. Immortals 2 rounds in the lead now.
Yeah. FNX building quite the bank. 4 kills in that round with the P90. Here's the first one you're going to see. Pushes him right over there. Follows it up with 2 quick ones. Just putting bullets through teammates. Nearly gets the ace there too, but James managed to clutch out at least 1 kill before he was put down. So now Top Gun going to be on basic eco right now. A couple upgraded pistols, 3 sets of armor. Henny, he's going to re-aggress this. He misses both of his shots though, and they have now piling towards connector, but Bolts is here. AK in hand, does a lot of damage after the initial kill, but FNX is going to be the one to follow up on it. 2 more kills with the SMG. Lucas gets 2 as well, and Immortals going to keep running away with this. Keep 3 players alive.
It was a little questionable. I like that, you know, they're not afraid to go for mid. We saw Banishers just absolutely afraid of it, avoiding it at all costs. One of the biggest issues there in that round was, though, Top Gun, when you get that frag onto the man and connector, there's so many angles you have to be careful of anyhow, right? Catwalk, window, everything. You can't just linger there. You either need a smoke cat, and then you can linger, or just push on through connector, but they didn't do that.
At this point, I'd like to see them. I don't know if they have a good read on this. I mean, we're the observers. We've so much more information, but no one's really playing cat on Immortals so far. They're just putting 2 players on B, getting a little aggressive on towards apartments like we see here. No damage dealt to either side in that little exchange. But if they could smoke off window and connector and then just push up cat, that might give them an easier access to this B-bomb site.
FNX still has that P90. rebuying that after the round. But now, Top Gun, they're rotating on over for A. They're going to go for another play, checking every single angle, but they got to be careful because FNX is holding top of A ramp with that P90 in hand. No one's going to be coming out from Palace, it looks like, for the side of Top Gun. And take a look, Bolts has already made his way through underpass. He has so much information coming on out. There's P90, first spray down. Henny even finds one onto Huckleberry. The second one comes on out. Maverick is dead, and that's the bomb down. Now it's just jamming against the world. He does get a kill onto Henny, but still, it's going to be a 5-for-1 exchange. Their Immortals now taking their 8th round, extending their lead to 4.
Yeah, and Top Gun, they've got the money to buy. I don't know if it's enough for an AWP, unless it's going to be Glass Cannon for yep, Huckleberry's going to buy that. Throw that on over, so armor is going to be had by Jammin. Henny and FNX going to be both going to be going through mid right now. It looks like that's going to be smoked up immediately. And FNX, he's taking the role of Lucas yet again. Up mid with the P90. Can't quite line up the shot. Turns around, tries to get James, but he's going to win that battle. Lucas, now we have some aggression up catwalk. He is here. He's dealing some damage. He gets a frag to follow up the one from Henny.
There we go. Traded right on back once again. Henny, though, caught out over at Connector. Bolts catches the man out. Switching guns, and he will be able to clean up this round with the 3K, sitting on 14 frags himself so far. It's just Steel. You know, I think he did enough work over at Inferno to get a little bit of rest in this map. It's pretty spread out evenly. The frags are on the side of Immortals. Same on Top Gun. It's Jammin who's just been a little bit silent along with Frosty this time.
Yeah, Steel actually a little bit asleep at the wheel here on Immortals, but I think it's just because everyone else is showing up so strong after that previous map. Just kind of sharing the load, and now Top Gun, go! They were going to be going for an execute, lining up some smokes, but Annie used that 1 pixel angle on that door into apartments, and he gets that initial frag, and now has some people here to back him up. Had to switch to the season to try and make that work, but Steel is here. Gets one, eggs the second, who's finished up by Lucas, who gets himself a double frag. Now it's just all up to Jammin on site. 3 players are here. Make that off 4th as they rotate on in. Lucas picks up his 3rd frag in the round. Top Gun slowly losing hold of this. Immortals now in double digits going into the 15th round, last round of the half.
Top Gun will be able to buy up completely, though. Once again, the AWP in the hands of Jam, and he just hasn't been able to find that good angle for himself. He's going to go ahead and really go ahead and smoke off Connector there. Just try and staunch some of that push coming on out. FNX, once again, has been playing so aggressively over here at A-Ramp with that P90. He got it that 1 round, made that push into T-Apps, and since then he hasn't let go of it.
It's been working for him, surprisingly enough. We don't see too much of it. I think Emily was using it a lot yesterday, but not to the level of amazing plays that FNX has been making with it so far on this map. Minute 15 left to work with. Bomb is slowly creeping its way towards ramp, where they saw FNX peek. Got a little bit of information before he smoked it off to retreat, and he's going to go position himself back on it again. Nice aggressive hold. Here's some flashes coming through, and he's going to hold the same angle. Will he get punished for it this time? As Top Gun start to move in. FNX actually jumps the gun. He's going to get punished for that. Frosty gets that kill. Now it's Bolt over here in Firebox.
All right, Henny once again with that frag onto James over by Firebox. It's going to be Bolts that takes out Frosty. It's going to be a 2v3 situation. Lucas and Bolts holding down the A site. And now it's all down to Jammin. He's approaching from Connector with that AWP in a 3v1 situation. Bomb all the way at the top of A ramp. This is going to be a difficult situation. He's got 3 CTs in his way, and Lucas sees something, sprays through that smoke, will secure that final round. 11-4 is our scoreline as we go into the second half.
Yeah, not the best showing here on Mirage. It's looking dark. Henny, though, looking relaxed. One of the top fraggers for his team on that CT half. 13 kills. KDR, damn good, 1.44. We'll see if these guys can keep up that kind of strength while they move onto their terrorist side.
Not the same performance we saw out of him up against Banishers, but, he's been forced out of position quite frequently and punished every time he went for some of the same plays that he did. That's why we saw the adjustment coming out from him. He was on ticket booth for a little while, and then we saw towards the end there playing that apartment angle. Really great adjustments coming out from Immortals here.
Yep, keeping them guessing, didn't want to be too stale, and really just, it's hard to be as dominant against Top Gun because they played to such a different level that Banishers were against them on this map.
So now, just waiting for the teams to ready up as we do swap sides. Top Gun currently down 7 rounds against Immortals here, and they've taken every single pistol so far. 3 out of 3 pistols, as this is going to be the 4th one now. Immortals setting up for a 5-man push onto A. A little bit misread coming out from Top Gun. They've already made their way onto Catwalk. There's 1 man over by Ticket Booth, 1 in Jungle. Now the men over by Mid can make their way into Connector pretty quickly to react to this. 3 members of Immortals ready to flesh out from Palace there.
And jamming all the way through mid, has a little bit of information to work with, but the rotation has not come through quite yet. It will now as they get flashed off a Ticket Booth. He's going to give up that position entirely, and they're going to have to play for retake. Huckleberry just trying to land anything. 3 terrorists piling into CT, spot out James, who might be able to bait out a kill. That he does once he gets one of his own, and it's starting to look like they might just do it. Henny, last one alive. Can he do it? Gets the first 2. We've seen him do this before, but the CZ, so little ammo in the clip and 6 HP. Spots out 1 more, does some damage, can't quite get it, nearly, and the knife comes back. James is going to get it this time. He gets his revenge a map later.
That's the retribution knife coming out from James there. That's his 2nd or 3rd of the tournament? At least 2nd.
Yeah,
at least 2nd. He got 1 on Inferno. This is definitely his 2nd. And this is also the 4th pistol round that they've taken up against Immortals here. There we go.
Wow.
Coming on out. But it was a great angle being held by Frosty there. As the 3 members of Immortals had pushed into CT, they were trying to catch out someone by Market, but the entire time Frosty was just in the spawn position. Now Immortals pushing through mid. It's going to be Jammin that gets the first kill onto Bolts, and Frosty with this M4 has to be careful, almost facing off against Steel, but it's going to be Jammin once again with that USP, getting a 2nd kill.
Saving for the AWP seems to have paid off rather than investing into any other gun at this point. Quite impressed with those shots up there at mid. Maverick, he's going to get one onto Henny as well. So now FNX here trapped in Palace. Bomb is rotating away in the hands of Lucas over towards ramp. So they're going to have to dedicate themselves to an A hit. It's not going to happen for FNX though. As soon as he peeks out of Palace one more time, Frosty's going to get that now. All up to Lucas, 1v5. Gets a little bit of information, tries to swing over and shoot, but can't quite line it up. Maverick's going to get that clean round for Top Gun.
Yeah, and Jammin is also able to get a free upgrade onto that Deagle after that round. Now he's picking up that AWP. Immortals are going to be forcing into this. So we've got 3 AKs, got the FAMAS in the hands of, the Galil in the hands of Bolts, and the UMP for Lucas. Not much utility to work with. So Jammin with that first kill onto Lucas, and that was crucial because he was all of the utility on their end.
James spraying through that smoke does so much damage. FNX is going to take out Maverick elsewhere, but Frosty, he's getting aggressive. He's changing things up. He gets a kill before he's traded out, and Huckleberry gets 1 to follow that up. Now Immortals is going to be 2v3, heavily tagged up, 10 HP on FNX, 50 for Steel. They're going to trade out that bomb. Let Steel go peek this first.
Yeah, B site clear, but James made his way through underpass. Just past him, saw 1, that's the bomb carrier down, he hears the 2nd. He's just going to go ahead and back away. Now Steel was able to recover that bomb, but now the rotations are coming out from the side of Top Gun. It's going to be enough time for Steel to go for this plan. Instead, he wants to go ahead and clear our market, catch out the man rotating. Huckleberry, though, walking, does spot him out, but Steel wins that battle, takes him out, and now A-site is his.
This is an amazing play right here. Top Gun could never have seen this one coming, and now they're like laying in wait, expecting him to maybe even come back. Kind of a double fake at this point, but no, Steel made it onto site, tucks himself behind default. He's going to get a plant off of that. Now it's all about which angle he wants to take, and he can't even have a moment to choose because Jammin's going to put him down. Top Gun going to get 1 more round as they rush on over to defuse this bomb.
Yeah, Jammin was just holding on that angle the entire time. It was a really good read coming out from him playing over by Cat. You know, because he did approach from CT there, he had to expect the next rotation from Top Gun to come out from CT market side, and so he knew that he was going to have to try and exit on that angle. So now Top Gun bringing this closer. It's 11-4, or excuse me, 11-7 our scoreline now, and we've seen this do this continually against Immortals. Every time they get that pistol round, they're able to play the anti-eco and draw out this economy, as we do see Huckleberry. He's going to be staying on that UMP. Jamming once again with that AWP. Going to go ahead and take full control of mid. On the side of Immortals, though, we have some armor. Is going to be on Steel, Bolts, and FNX, along with some Tech 9s. We do have the CZ for Henny.
5 players pushed up towards this apartment side. Maverick in that cold zero jump peak zone. No AWP in hands for him, so no flying op shots to be had, but he is going to see some grenades raining on it, and he's going to get flashed back. Some damage going to be put out on the Immortal side. Maverick is there, rotates his position outside of band, gets a quick double kill, readjusts back again. Can't quite line up that shot though. It's not going to matter too much as only Steel is alive, but he has armor, has picked up that M4, and we've seen him do some work. And he tries to go for the knife again, James. Really? You're going to try that? He's not even been shot yet.
Nade comes out. It was a flash, didn't quite connect. Still at 15 HP is Steel, but yeah, he's just stuck back here, and it's going to be Frosty cleaning that up.
All smiles over there on the side of Top Gun. I think that they have so many more rounds than they thought they were going to get, and they've been doing so well. At this point, maybe they're just trying to tilt Immortals. If they can do this well against them in-game, maybe get that out-of-game mentality as well.
11-8 is the scoreline now. Henny does have his hands back on an AWP. They do have a good amount of utility to work with, but mid-control has been something that they've been drastically missing. And take a look, Maverick gets aggressive, but Henny immediately punishes that. We have a second man on out. It's going to be Frosty. That picks up a double kill. That's the Twins down.
Amazing stuff from Frosty. Showed up today so much more than the previous couple of days we've been seeing him play. And FNX, he's out alone, autumn ramp, spots that one player. James is there to give the support peek, finishes up that kill. Now Steel and Bullets, last two alive. Flash comes through, spots at the leg of a player, and peeks with a grenade, and gonna get punished. 21 HP, and Steel is on the opposite side of the map. So while attention has been brought over to that A bomb side, Jammin was starting to move out from market, but now they seem to have a good read on this. Can Jammin put himself in a good place to fight Steel off in this 1v1? Steel making noise. Jammin playing on opposite side of the wall, waiting for that plant sound to come through, but Steel not dedicating himself yet. And the double peek comes through different angles. Jammin gets the one dig, so all up to Bolts.
Yeah, bomb down there by the B site, but Jammin will clean that up with that AWP, and still such a close game. I don't think our analysts were expecting this, but 11-9 is our scoreline here. Top Gun. It's been very difficult for them to get these rifle rounds, but this is what we're talking about. You can't play scared.
No.
Against Immortals.
Right now, it's
if you play scared, you just get run over.
Yeah, Top Gun is almost playing Immortals game that we played against Banishers, like almost like the exact same kind of setups and risky aggressive plays, and it's working so well for them.
Tech 9 armor on 4 members of Immortals here as they're setting up for this A take, lining up their nades right now. They do have FNX. Pushing through underpass right here. There isn't anyone over at mid to really try and contest him. Typical default setup coming out from Top Gun right now. And so, nades still getting lined up by Immortals that are just waiting out the mollies, waiting out the smokes. A minute 10 left on the clock. Huckleberry has adjusted himself on top of Palace here. Is going to run into Bolts. He's got to be careful. He's got that Tech 9. It's close range. He spots him out, gets the kill.
Out with the nade in hand. Huckleberry, aggressive play pays off. It was so risky, but it pays off indeed. Huckleberry, though, he's down to 2 HP after all of that. He's going to back off. Frosty's there to try and support him, and just a little too late to keep him alive. Henny, last player alive for Immortals. Going up against 3 players who are all quite close. Jammin has that up all the way from, oh my god, catwalk. But James, he's going to be able to get it. You can hear him wooing from downstairs.
There he is. That is James, the man right there. I've been waiting for this all day already. And
the dolphin pose. James currently on 15 kills. Not going off as much as he has on previous maps, but doing a damn good job.
I'm just wondering, like, during media day, what was going through our photographer's mind when the Top Gun guys were just posing.
Are you sure you want to have that on screen? Yes.
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 Yes. All right, 11-10, our scoreline now brought within 1, and Jammin already opening up, taking out Lucas. FNX falls. Steel is able to get a trade, but it's Jammin coming in with a second kill. Now Bolt making his way onto stairs, finds a triple kill for himself. cleaning up 3, and now it's a 2v1 situation for Maverick. Bomb is about to go down onto the A site here. There's a man playing over by Tetris.
Half-decent post-plant positions, but that grenade going to give away one of them. So many angles to guess, though. Trying to find that second man on the site. He has a bit of utility he hasn't used, though. He could use that. There it is. Molotov gets pulled out. That's going to isolate one who could have been up there. He does get the first frag, but Annie pops out from Firebox, gets the frag. And Immortals going to start pulling this one back. Not the best amount of money right now, but they will be able to at least get full AKs. And it's going to be difficult because this is about the time last map when the momentum started to run out for Top Gun. They actually got to that same, I think it was like 10-9 score line before Immortals started running away with it again.
Now Top Gun able to buy back into this gem and does have that AWP, and there it is. Takes out Henny.
Amazing stuff from Jammer. We said he needed to wake up, and that he has on the CT side. So much more suiting him on this counter-terror side with that AWP. Positions have so much more freedom for him, but Bolts is going to answer that initial frag back, taking out Huckleberry over there on the A site. Backing off through Palace with his teammate. They're going to rotate over towards mid for the time being, leaving Top Gun split up 2v2. Steel coming up from Underpass, keeping his eyes trained over there, but actually doubles back. Looks like he might go be the mid player for now.
Yeah, Bolts just had a great timing push. Up there on Palace, up against Huckleberry. Last time Huckleberry was just lurking, waiting, and then made that peek, but this time he got punished for it. And so now 4-4, as we do have the bomb hovering over my B apartments right now. Steelga lining up some smokes, is going to go ahead and sell this fake. He's even pushing through A ramp here, so no rotations coming out quite yet from Top Gun. Nades are coming out here, and that's going to be Immortal starting to push in now.
Interesting stuff, but Jammin, he's going to get that frag on the Steel as he pushes out towards A. So now they know Fake is coming out. Maverick is there to get that first frag as Lucas jumps out the window. Here's the second player. James gets one on Bolts elsewhere. Jumping M4 shot. Beautiful stuff from Maverick. I was hoping he'd try something like that, making it look flashy. So now Top Gun pulling rounds right back. Fist bumps come out.
12-11 our score line. Last map on Inferno, it was 16-11, I believe, the scoreline now. So Top Gun already performing so much better. They've got the double up. It's going to be on Maverick and, of course, Jammin, who's been holding down mid for them. Maverick pushing up onto Car with that AWP. It's not quite the timing he's looking for, but we do have 4 members of Immortals over here at top of mid. Henny pushing his way in through, checking underpass. Not quite. But now he's just going to go ahead and line up a smoke.
Top Gun, pretty default setup. A little bit of noise made over there by apartments. While the bomb does rotate back through T-spawn. And he holding that angle until he's smoked off. 2 players next to underpass are going to back off ever so slightly while the rest of their teammates starts positioning themselves over by the ramp room.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the A ramp right now. The bomb is hovering over there. A minute left on the clock. They don't have any utility. This cannot be a fake at all whatsoever. Bolts lining his up. FNX spamming his. Now they have made their way into underpass, so it's going to be a mid to A take here. The man playing over by connector has to be careful. Huckleberry gleaning a little bit of information, but there we go. Gets that first kill, taking out Steel. They're going to go ahead and peek him wide. Lucas gets the kill onto him, trading 1 for 1. They spotted out the bomb carrier there, but take a look. We've had the boost for FNX. He gets caught out by CPL. It's going to be James that cleans him up.
Jammin follows that kill up. Spots at the shoulder. The second player tries to get out of that position. He's getting inserted in on right now. N1 gets the headshot, gets the AWP. That could be exactly what he needs, but no. Maverick is there, gets the shot from Catwalk. Frosty follows it up. Top Gun tie things up 12-12 here on... Oh my God, Mirage. I cannot believe this. No one thought they would get more than a handful of rounds on any map. And somehow they are here, top contention with one of the best teams in the world.
And the way that they're doing it, too. They're, like, winning these individual duels. Jammin has actually put some fear into Henny with that AWP. Hasn't been challenging him as much, and he's had full mid-control here on the CT side.
Lucas, a little bit scared, as you said. Go peek that mid, but FNX, he got up there. Steel is with him, so they could boost up into this. Where they're going to spot that out now. Slight mistake running forward for that nade by Jammin. Gets punished, so that's going to be a nice opener for them. FNX gets boosted. Huckleberry does answer that back, though. Takes Hen 1 out. FNX dancing in the fire slightly. Frosty was taken down to 14 HP. Huckleberry's there to support him, though. They're going to smoke off that one angle. Frosty puts a couple bullets up towards Palace, where the player is jumping out now, but no, Steel. He's going to get put down. Bolts is Molotov'd off. 14 health. 2 players left alive. Make that one, and it's going to be only Bolts. 5 health. He has to run out and try and do something, but he can't do it. Top Gun take the lead for the second time this map.
Yeah, 13-12 our scoreline. Top Gun really making a show of it now. They're just completely bought out. James, considering what he wants to buy, it's just going to be an M4 once again. They're maintaining that double op setup, Maverick and Jammin. Now, Immortals, they're not going to go for an up by themselves. It was a little bit light on the economy. They were able to afford the AKs all the way down the line, though. Now they're making this really quick push out onto B. FNX just going to go ahead and toss out a smoke. But Jammin now creeping up towards mid with that AWP. He's going to run into 2 members. It's going to be Henny with Lucas right behind him.
Jammin, though, getting aggressive up mid. This is something we haven't seen him do with this AWP so far. Taking it slow. Spots out the stack. Gets one of the frags for Lucas. Answers it back. Nice opener pick, but the aggression was completely punished now. That's allowed Lucas up into mid for free. Bomb was over there by Eastside Absence, starting to rotate as FNX and Bolts start moving up towards Palace.
What a read, though, coming out from Immortals, having that stack there. He definitely wasn't expecting that. I mean, he could have reacted a little bit quicker with his aim, possibly gotten the 2v1 duel, but it doesn't matter. Huckleberry coming in, takes out Bolts. FNX, though, is able to trade that back on out, peeking out from Palace now. So 3 members of Immortals remaining, and they are on to this A site. It's going to be a 3v3 retake. If they get the bomb down, we do have the man playing over by Sandwich right now, and that's the bomb carrier. He's making his way on over.
Lucas hops the top stairs, gives away his position. Frosty in a good angle for that, but now his position is known. Top Gun finally starting to move in these players. One coming through connector, one staying outside window, but FNX is going to get that frag, allowing the man advantage to be out of their favor now. FNX with a second one. That's his 3rd this round. He gets tagged up heavily,
Kobe.
And somehow Maverick tries to throw in that nade. Not enough. 1v2, low HP. Bomb has been planted. He does have a kit to work with, so time is on his side. Swaps it to the AK. It's going to make this slightly easier. Flash comes out. Good use of utility. No one's flashed off, though. Now he has an idea where both of these players are, but they're rotating around, setting up a crossfire. And FNX with a 4K that round to tie things back up again. Top Gun, plenty of money to buy back into this round, but actually Immortals, they're actually a little bit light on the buy for having lost so many rifles the past 2 rounds.
Yeah, Top Gun could have won that round. I think it was a little bit of a misplay coming out from Frosty. He knew his position was given away when he was able to get that frag over by Ticket Box. He was caught out. At that point, you just wait for the rest of your team to come and support you, get that flash out, get out of that position. Instead, he went for that peek once the bomb was going down. You could have just played for the retake instead of trying to deny that plant. But we do have that really aggressive push. It came out over by Catwalk. It's going to be Jammin', though, through the smoke, getting the kill onto Lucas.
That was amazing right there. James was just kind of playing in that smoke, waiting for it to fade and try and get some aggressive play. But as soon as he backs off the shots from the terrorist side, just gave away the position. Great shot by Jammin' to be able to line that up through the smoke. FNX, though, slightly later, is going to be able to trade that one out. So now a minute 10 left to work with. And we're going to see one player pushing up through Palace, 2 over there by connector and chair spot. Now Bolts, can he find a player? Huckleberry kind of out in the open, but somehow Bolts just slightly misses him. Checking all the angles. Huckleberry, timing is on his side right now. Bolts has gotten under dark. Firebox is going to be flamed off, and Huckleberry's going to get taken out as Steel was lurking on that ramp. Now he has the bomb. They're pedaling it on out. Frost is still in this corner where he was, and it's going to be a 2v4 for them. Teammate quite far off over there onto the B-bomb side.
Yeah, Huckleberry and Bolts, they've been playing that position over by like A ramp and Palace their entire time, both just narrowly missing each other over and over and over again. But yeah, it's going to be the 2v4. They're just going to go for the save on the side of Top Gun. I mean, their economy looked pretty good, but carrying these rifles into the next round is going to allow them to buy back in if Immortals win the next one. Or, excuse me, take it to round 15.
Oh, Bolts spots him. They desperately need these rifles. Bolts actually gets that frag, though. And it looks like Maverick might be safe. They're not close enough to hunt him down. And actually, it's very risky on the side of Immortals. They are going to have a good little win bonus going on, but their money was, oh, no, it's in good areas after that. I thought it would be a little bit lighter as they had bought down for pretty much nothing in the previous round. But they are going to take the lead back, 14-13, 2 rounds away from winning this series.
So we do have a pause coming out. I mean, at this point, I imagine it's tactical. It's coming down
I'd imagine.
to it. Top Gun calling the pause here. Or we're actually going to go ahead and immediately resume, it seems like.
Interesting.
So 14-13 our scoreline now. Top Gun only able to save that one M4 into this round. But it was also Maverick with a defuse kit. And so we do have some upgraded pistols coming out from them. They're going to go ahead and 5-stack onto the A site here.
I like this
out.
play. It's a little bit risky. 50-50 chance. James peeking up into Palace, where there might be a player sometime soon, but opting not to go for it. Nobody's been found out yet. No footsteps have been heard. Bolts slowly creeping on in. Splash is going to allow them to push down ramp room. Bolts definitely hears that. That's going to have some information to pass on, communicate to his teammates. Who have dropped the bomb back there by T-Apps. Now James finds the player. Can't lay the shot. Bolts is going to get a 2K off of that.
They had to try something, and they sold the stack onto A pretty well, right? Just smoking off A ramp like you're playing typical default there. Generally, you would rather see like, or if you're going to see the stack onto A or like an A ramp rush, just some flashes coming on out. But unfortunately, their timing was just a little bit off. Bolts was able to hear them as they were pushing on in. Huckleberry does get a consolation kill onto Bolts there. Bomb making its way through T-spawn, wrapping back around. Can't quite decide where he wants to go, but there we go. Just gets that kill onto Huckleberry. Maverick was able to keep this M4 throughout the entirety of this round. They're not quite sure where he is. Henny's still just hovering around with his knife out. It's going to have to be careful. Maverick hears him.
Maverick just desperately trying to hold on to this to go into the last round, potentially, of the map and the series, because Immortals, they have 19 seconds left, planting the bomb right now, and they're really just kind of trying to find this last player. They think they've already cleared this out, but will they double check it is the question.
Yeah, this Palace position is something that they're not expecting, especially because Henny was able to.
That's the. Oh, Henny. Nope. He's keeping every angle covered. Very smart. These guys are too good to let that happen. So now Immortals on series point. 15 rounds for them. 13 to Top Gun. Can they run this back? They've been saving everything they can. M4s across the board. AWP in the hands of Jammin, but everyone on low armor. Moderate utility, though.
Weird buy coming out from Top Gun. Jammin had the money. He could have gone for a kit, and that might be crucial at this point.
Yeah.
So there's no kits on the side of Top Gun, but it doesn't matter. Jammin already getting that first kill onto FNX over by mid. It's going to be Huckleberry backing on out. Bolts finding the second one. That's Jammin going on down. So now it's going to be a 4v2 as Bolts is just cleaning house. James finally getting that traded kill. But still, 3 members of Immortals out and mid. Maverick's going to go ahead and readjust himself over onto the ladder room, but Steel has that angle. He's got to be careful. Last time, James was able to win this duel, but Steel looks away.
Here's the footsteps, though. James making a lot of noise. Maverick's head spotted. Knows there's 2 players here. Gets the first frag. Knows the second is here, and he's the last player alive. 1v3. Manages to get it. Only going down to 73 health. Can he make this jump to the window? He makes it indeed. Pre-fires the angle, so giving away his position now.
Oh, no.
He's caught with the flash in his hand, and he's done. Immortals are going to win this 16-13. With Top Gun giving such an amazing showing against one of the top talents in CSGO. These guys are a pug team. They've barely been playing together. These guys work full-time jobs. They're just playing for fun, and they've had a better run at it than some semi-pro teams.
They do, play Premier in main, and they showed their individual skill levels. Everyone at this point, Jammin with that AWP was just a staple for them, as we do have the handshakes coming out from the competitors here. So Top Gun are knocked out, and Immortals will be moving on to the grand finals.
I've got to say, it's what everyone did expect, but not like this.
Not like this. No, not at all.
It's been such an amazing showing. Just watching this has been so entertaining, and I can't thank these players enough for giving it absolutely 100% of their all, and just giving us the show we wanted.
16-11 on Inferno, 16-13 here on Mirage, and we thought Mirage might have been a wash at this point, but no, they didn't allow Immortals to dictate the pace. We saw a lot of times Jam just winning the individual duels. It was just a great performance out of them. So despite the loss, congratulations to Top Gun for having the performance that they did here at the Esports Arena Santa Ana Showdown. But we do have the analysts ready over by the analyst desk, the analyst couch, to break down this game for us. Go ahead and take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Jamerson. It's more of a living room at this point, but just a cozy little spot. But yeah, so we do indeed see Immortals coming out on top, but you definitely have to talk about just the effort that Top Gun put into it and just how close they came, actually. At a certain point, we're sitting back over in the other room thinking that they may actually take this second map and take us to a third one. It was certainly looking like it towards the middle portion of the game.
Yeah, definitely was, again, very surprised. Obviously, one of the big benefits and one of the really cool things about how Top Gun play this is that, first off, they're able to win pistols, which is just a massive obstacle in itself, but they're able to win anti-ecos. And we haven't really seen that from anyone. Doesn't matter if you're Immortals or Luminosity. They were doing a really good job of actually holding on to their advantages in a much better way than what we've seen other teams do so far in this tournament. And I think obviously that goes a long way to setting up for success. And we see that, even when in the second half, even when Immortals managed to get that first buy round, get that win, and they get reset immediately after because they've managed to on the CT side. We see Top Gun being able to do such a good job of just maintaining their money and building their economy that they can go right back into strong buy, and they're going to be able to limit the utility and weaponry that Immortals are going to have on their side when they have to rebuy, etc. And yeah, it's just an extremely solid performance overall. And I think what both Jamerson and Insomnia was mentioning, the fact that they were actually winning individual duels as well, that meant that did a huge number on Immortals' idea of how they wanted to play just the basic default with getting mid control, because they weren't winning the initial duels to actually get jamming out a window, for instance. So that was massive.
Yeah, when Immortals is kind of like a pick, kind of, they rely on Henwan's all, still lurking in T's side. They rely on those picks, but usually, you play a lower end team, it works so well, but against Top Gun, they're hitting their shots, and so it almost kind of countered Immortals' play style a little bit to where maybe they should have thrown a little more smoke executes, maybe more pop flashes, where maybe Henwan should be baiting people instead of leading a lot of times, because he got picked off in mid a couple times by
Jammin',
Jammin'. He was just hitting his shots. The whole Top Gun team, it was pretty even scores, and they're playing phenomenal. And if these people aren't a team, they should make the team, participate in leagues, and maybe get to that spot, because they're a pug that almost beat Immortals. I mean, they came close. They came close, and that's really impressive for like a top 15 team, in the world right now.
Yeah, I'd probably put Immortals top 10, or top 8 maybe, depending on any given day. Like, they're that good of a team. So for Top Gun, if they can build something off of this, great court to start things with. You already have some familiarity offline as well.
Play well on land. That's like a huge.
It's like one of the biggest obstacles, right? For a lot of teams that come together, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, we're jamming totally well on, we're just dominating people online, and then you come to land, there's like 2 other players who have never done anything in CS apparently. Like when you see them play offline, that's a bit of a bummer. But for these guys, they kind of know what they're going into it, right? So build something off of that. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So Top Gun coming in. Unfortunately, though, they are going to end up getting knocked out here in this first matchup. So one of our Brazilian teams makes it through the cut into the finals. There's one more to be decided, however, and that is going to be coming up in just a little bit. So stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. And when we do come back for the break, we're going to have our second semifinal right here.